Welcome into the stream, everybody.
Hi.
Obviously, everybody's totally here since we're not doing an intro like usual. But welcome into the stream, everybody. It is Tiny Apple Day. The most important day. Well, one of the most important days in the history of this channel.
It is the most important day in the history of this channel. Let's be real.
Honestly, it's the day that started the meme, the day that started everything. The day where I couldn't tell the difference between an apple and a cherry in a horror game.
But you're adorable, though. You're so pretty.
But we figured to do something to spell. I tainted how you doing, my friend. We figured to do something special to celebrate, especially since, fun fact, that these shirts and other things you can see more of later. But fun fact, we actually have a merch line now. So if you want to check some stuff out, wait till after stream, because then you'll actually get to see everything, including exclusive stuff. But why not do something special? Last year, I think it was for affiliate anniversary, we had some friends together, including a couple of the beautiful people. I know. Who's that handsome dude right up there? Who's that handsome man?
People.
We did a little tabletop RPG, and I always get the itch since our D&D group, it's hard to actually get it together. So we got some lovely and wonderful people joining us here today. Obviously, we have the lovely and amazing Caitlin. As you can see to my left, / your right, / my right, / your left, / Caitlin's right. We have the wonderful, lovely, amazing Wibbles, aka Weeping Liberty.
Just kind of like gesturing to us as a beautiful maid.
Exactly. The perfect little placeholder around the edge. Up here to my right on your screen, my left personally, we have one of my oldest and bestest friends, Ethan, aka Sergeant Sparklestein.
Technically, he is older than you.
I know. That is fair. That is fair.
Well, way to rub that in. I apologize, but happy belated birthday there.
Hey, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Up top in the middle here, the man who, for whatever reason, his office decided to eat his camera, so we have no idea where it is. We got the music man himself, though, Joshua, aka Reset Vibes.
Yo!
And last but not least, joining us for the first time actually in person, we have our very dear friend, Venom.
Hello.
And what we are doing today, we're doing this off of honestly, a really fucking cool looking rule set called Welcome to Beaver River Camp. It's a simple one page that's literally built like a pamphlet. Some simple rules, literally just require a D6. And it also, there's this whole building, dice towers, but unfortunately since it's not in person, we don't get to do that. You don't get to hear me bang on tables. I never know how to get these started though. Like, oh no.
In case you wanted to bang on something.
I forget that I have to hammer a bonkening. I always do.
Bonk.
That's fair. But you know, Wibbles' new stuff is awesome. The new emotes on Wibbles are amazing. Go follow Wibbles. I'm gonna just casually pro Wibbles propaganda before we get things kicked off. But go follow Weeping Liberty on Twitch. Go do it right now. Stop everything. Go follow Wibbles.
You can't just do mine. I'm not the only one here.
Okay,
I
well
know.
here we'll make
Well,
it.
okay,
we'll make
do-
it even
we'll do
better.
the tubes. We'll drop Joshua as well. Go listen to Reset
There we
Vibes
go.
to Venom.
Also,
The stream
there
keeps really
is,
getting loud.
he's been working on his new album, so there's some new music coming real soon, some awesome new singles that we've gotten sneak peeks of that are some of my favorite work he's ever done. So, like,
It's gonna be awesome.
go
stuff coming
listen
out.
now. Actually, not now. In a couple hours after we're
Exactly.
done.
Once the campaign's over, don't leave the stream.
Go listen to Reset
And
Vibes
we
while
don't
you
leave.
search Fourth Wall for Sergeant ScorpDerp merch. There you go. That's a perfect afternoon.
But before we get started, you guys got any questions? Anything you want to say?
We're all so awkward.
It's all good.
I'm not being paid for this.
Nut.
That's unfortunate.
I had to nut on Jimmy's behalf.
I think Ethan might be getting paid in foot pics.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's
I mean,
not
that's a
related to
previous
this.
arrangement, all right?
Yeah, that's no, that's not.
That's a
I
standing
don't
thing,
want
all
anybody
right?
to get excited about thinking they're gonna get foot pics.
That's how,
pretty.
that's how I keep him on retainer, okay?
That's my retaining fee.
All right, well.
It's this show somewhere right here.
Shall we get this thing started? I gotta, now comes the part where, just before we go in live, I was like, maybe I should write down the outline of what I was thinking for the intro. I didn't do that. I did not do that at all. So prepare yourselves, because we're just gonna wing it. But let's get started with Tiny Applewoods Camp. So we are I probably should have asked you guys this beforehand, but you guys are all going to be coming to the camp separately, right? Like, obviously you're getting there around the same time, but did you guys want to be, like, coming together on a bus together, do introductions there, or, like, get to the camp and do your introductions there?
I think it makes more sense if there was like somewhere we had to meet up first and got bussed in, especially since like we're supposed to be no phones, no tag,
That's
We're
like,
stranded.
Okay,
kind of
perfect.
isolated. It wouldn't really do if we had like 3 of us had cars, another one got dropped off. Like,
All right,
Yeah.
I dig it.
No tech. That's correct.
So, exactly, no technology, nothing suspicious either.
Suspicious.
So,
there's absolutely no
Suspicious.
reason Todd has a whole bag of potatoes.
how did you know about that? So, each individual one of you has your own very specific reasons for coming to this camp. Some searching for friendship, some for required reasons, others for coming. Hey, Raven, thank you for the sub, my friend. Appreciate you kindly. I know Venom looking fantastic up in there. What's
Hello,
up, Jelly?
apples.
So, whatever your reasons may be, you all are ever so smitten by a very simple Craigslist post that just simply says, "Would you like to be a camp counselor?" Brand new camp opening this summer in a formerly defunct location that is completely and utterly safe. Nothing scary has ever happened there. If you would like to join, please reach out, and a simple phone number and email for you to get to. They send you all the information. The application process is incredibly simple, and they send you the date of August 4th, 2024, to meet up at the camp. There is a bus that will be taking you all to where you are headed in a very nondescript location, so much so that they actually would not tell you where the camp is. Outside of it is somewhere in Central Oregon. And you are to meet just outside of Crater Lake, where from there you will be going on about an hour-long bus ride. First person to get there, I'm gonna point. Joshua, my dude, tell us a little about your character and how he pulls up.
Pulls up. I ride my bike up there.
Okay.
So I'm Bart. I was told I had to be here. My juvenile officer said that I have apparently a problem with drugs and having fun. So here I am. I don't want to be here. I'm not here to be anybody's friend. And hopefully this week goes by very fucking fast because this is whack.
All right. So, Bart, what's your character look like?
17-year-old punk kid. I got a messy fringe haircut with a burst fade because I'm a fucking fuckboy.
Note to self, make sure Bart dies.
And I'm totally wearing a fuck you t-shirt with cargo shorts and Birkenstocks.
Okay.
Fucking sick.
All right. So the next person to pull up into the little, very abandoned lot where this bus is picking them up in the top left corner, Venom. Tell us about your character.
Well, I pull up in a not exactly street legal dirt bike. Quite sunburned, as you can see, but I don't really notice the pain because I'm drinking.
Beautiful.
I previously born and raised South Carolina. I love to go fishing. Was a counselor at a camp down there, but they got in a little bit of trouble with the law. I guess they were growing pot or something like that on the property, so they got shut down. So I'm here.
All right. Beautiful. And tell us your character's name and a little bit about how they look. I was going to say, the
I'm
look is
Rudy.
pretty well taken care of.
I'm Rudy. Pleased to meet you.
Beautiful. All right. Next up, I think we're going to go ahead and go for our friend Todd coming in next. Todd, how do you arrive at the camp?
You guys that are there, you see a black van pull up into the parking lot, and out gets kicked very stiffly looking humanoid figure, and it seems to maybe I don't know how, but boot up maybe, and you hear, "Hello, fellow camp counselors. My name is Todd. Pleasure to join you on this camping trip. I am 20 years old, and I cannot wait to learn more about, become friends with you guys. Let us have a great camping experience."
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, and the final person to pull up.
You missed an entire counselor.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was saving the best for last. We'll have him go first.
Saving best for last?
Wow, yeah.
That's actually rude, sir.
My man's had to pick between his actual wife and his platonic wife, and he chose wrong in this sentence.
I'm kidding.
Well, that was a
Chose
great-
Wibbles,
wrong.
introduce us to your
Great,
character.
everyone.
Introduce us to your character, Wibbles.
Hey, you gotta give me a second cover for that. Alright, rolling up in one of those little, like, town car types that they've got for, limos for regular people. You've got this dumb little brown-haired, up in a ponytail, one of those, like, ratty t-shirts, those short cargo pants. Definitely looking around, does not look impressed. Don't worry, guys. Maya's here. I'm gonna fix all of this. It's gonna be like the best camp ever now that I'm here. But don't worry. Don't worry. I know you guys were all looking forward to a really fun time. I'm going to just try to get back in this car and make sure we have all this. What do you mean I can't go with you? I have to stay? I can't just say that I showed up and get my car. Okay, all right, well, I guess we're here now. Fine.
And-
Fine. When's dinner?
We're
And
not even there yet.
as you ask, when's dinner, you hear,
We're not even there yet. Dinner's not for a while. Sup, I'm Chris. I'm here because, according to the ad, nothing suspicious has ever happened at this formerly shut down camp. Which we all know means some shit went down, you guys. So I'm trying to see if I can survive this week and be the last counselor standing. But like, you know, if this bus tries to break down on us or anything, I got you guys. I can fix it. Also, yo, Rudy, can you share some of that moonshine there? I'm like a month from being 21, bro. And, like, they wouldn't push the camp start date back so that I could bring actual booze. Thank you, friend. They wouldn't push it back so I could bring actual booze here. Like, what the fuck? What gives with that?
and as you say that, a fairly nondescript-looking 40-something guy comes walking out of the bus that just comes screaming up and goes, "All right, load up. Now. We've got a
Fuck
tight
you
schedule.
too, man.
Like
Chop, chop.
Like right now.
Like, right now, let's go." And he just starts grabbing your bags and throwing them into the
Don't touch
tiny
my
compartment.
shit.
Too late. He's thrown everyone's stuff into the bus. He accidentally grabs Todd, and he goes, "Wait, where's your stuff? Did you not?"
Oh,
Bring
I
any-
brought everything in my pockets, and I pull out a paper clip and a string.
Okay.
I would be careful with that bag. I mean, it's not like there's anything bad in it. Like they said you shouldn't bring anything bad. It's definitely on the list of approved. I would still be careful with that bag.
I just want to point out really quickly, side note, when he picked up and yeeted my bag, there were like some little bits of makeup that were still in packaging that just kind of popped out the side of it
And the
with sensors on them.
the ornery bus driver looks at you all and goes, I don't care what you bring in. They don't pay me to even give the slightest shit. I'm here to get you to camp. So let's go. Not paid by the hour. I'm paid by the trip. So come on.
Let us go, fellow camp counselors.
I gotta
I
sit
get
near
car-
the front. I get car sick.
Yo,
And
Todd,
bus
you're
sick.
weird. I want to sit next to you.
Oh, as we get onto the bus, I'm still trying to figure out human interactions, and I just sit in the middle of the aisle. I don't even sit in the stand.
All right, the bus starts taking off. Do you guys want to have any interactions with each other before we get to the camp?
I'm gonna look at Todd sitting in the middle of the aisle. I'm sitting on the bench right next to where he is, and I'm like, "Hey, Todd, my man, that's not usually where people. You're gonna fall, my guy."
I am perfectly capable of keeping stable on vehicular rides. Thank you, though.
Sure
Sure.
don't seem very stable.
Sure.
I'm gonna take a boost snooze.
All right.
I'm gonna push Todd subtly with my foot and see what happens.
Okay, you know what? I think this is our first chance to roll. Go ahead and let's. You know what? We'll go nice and easy. We'll just have you both roll a d6.
Okay.
No reals.
I crit failed!
Somebody rolled a 1.
Caitlin got a 1. Ethan, what'd you end up
That's
rolling?
That's the face of a critical failure.
You also got a 1. All right, so
Okay, wait, I think that
Start, my friend.
I think I should succeed in this because my
So-
dice has a paw print.
so here's what happens. So Chris tries to just suddenly we're using your hand or your foot.
Foot. I was kicking
So
him.
Chris tries to just kind of give a little nudge over. Just as the bus driver comes screaming around the corner, Chris falls out of the seat, and at the same time, Todd falls directly into the seat right next to him. So Todd is currently at the foot of the next seat over, while you were in the middle row, where Todd once was. I know.
So we just switched?
We just
Not even. So Todd moved over to the seat across from where you were, and now you're where Todd was.
So I'm gonna stand, like, kind of pulling myself up using the bus benches and just kind of like lean back against the window on the bench I was sitting on and not move again.
All right.
I'm just somewhere in the back, arms up like it's a roller coaster. Just.
This is Maya's
paying attention.
This is Maya's first bus ride ever.
And as you start throwing your hands up, you see it's a pretty long bus. It's a fairly standard school bus, but you see the bus driver point up at a sign right above the window. You know, it's the spot where usually you'll have bus drivers, or they'll have a little sign that like says, "Shut the fuck up," or, you know, "Behave yourself." No, this one says, "You better have fun on this ride." And he just he points up at that and he throws a thumbs up over to you.
Yes.
So since Todd's laying over in his seat, he goes, "Oh, you are right. This is way better." And he's just gonna stay laying in that position.
Still just laying at the foot of the seat. All right. All right.
Yep.
And during all these shenanigans, where's Bart hanging out?
I sat down in the front seat.
So you're just like right behind the bus driver?
Yeah.
Or are you in the bus driver's lap?
I don't think he's gonna let me sit in his lap. No,
We should try anyway.
sit on the bus driver's lap.
Roll for it.
Give me a d6. Let's go.
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
Fuck yeah!
Let's fucking go.
So
The fucking opposite of me and
we're gonna go
Ethan.
back just a couple of seconds here. So as you guys are hopping on the bus, Bart, how do you try and convince him to let you sit in his lap?
I pull out a fucking blunt and I waft it under his nose.
And he just gives it a big old sniff and he goes, "It's been a while since I've smelled something this good. Join me." And he just kind of pats his lap like when you go to visit Santa Claus as a kid. Totally not creepy.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious at all.
Let's
And-
go.
To be
Not with
fair-
the sign he's got above his head.
I would like to also point out, isn't Bart the
Suspicious.
youngest out of all of us?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I think Bart is the youngest out of all.
He's the only teenager. All the rest of us are like 20-somethings.
Alright, cool. I've accidentally created a sex pervert. That's great. And so every time you guys start going around a wild corner, about every third one, he taps you on the shoulder and goes to hold you and hug you to keep you in place and says, take the wheel. And obviously you just start whipping these fucking corners. You start whipping shitties every time you can do it.
And that is why Todd and I fell. Great.
Hell yeah.
I get car sick, so do I
Oh
need
no.
to have a
Yeah, you know what?
saving
Let's,
throw?
go ahead.
Roll the save.
Give me a roll.
A 5.
Okay.
Yay!
So, first corner's a little bit rough, but you start getting your sea legs pretty easily on this hell of a ride of a bus, and you somehow keep it down the whole way. And it takes about an hour and a half of seeing absolutely nothing. It's just some windy forest roads, and you start pulling up past what it seems like a clearing and everything. Pretty much the whole drive. It's been at least a little bit overcast, if not semi-ominous weather. But there's this one pocket that you start coming up on. What's up, Haley? How you doing? And you can see it about a half a mile ahead as you guys are driving. That there's just this essentially like holy light of clarity. And you can see a camp sign.
Yo, guys, we're all gonna die here.
And as you guys come driving past, you see Beaver River Camp. And the bus just keeps driving as you see this place that looks super happy. You see kids running around enjoying themselves. The weather's perfect. You see an absolutely crystal clear lake. And the bus keeps driving.
So, wait a second. We don't get to go to the fun camp there?
And he turns around and goes, no.
But that's where horror movies take place, is at the fun cutesy camp like that.
No.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Where are we going?
You guys are going to Tiny Apple Camp.
What's a
And-
tiny apple?
And as you
I think
go...
it's like a miniature, like of New York or something. I've like heard of it. You could like put it in a snow globe. Then that's the tiny apple.
Wait, no, I thought tiny apples were like grapples.
Aren't those just green apples?
No, they're like some apple grape hybrid. I think I had it once when I was like 8.
And just...
I stand up off the bus driver's lap and I turn around and I just grab my crotch and I go, these are tiny apples.
And
Are we sure
as...
it's John that's accidentally made a pervert?
You know?
Bart's
And
pushing it.
in this moment, the bus driver points up at the sign and gives a thumbs up to Bart. And as he puts his hand down back on the wheel, you see the crystal clear light that you were driving through drop. And you get about 5 seconds before you see a sheet of rain directly ahead of you. And you go barreling through the rain. Obviously, the bus driver's not exactly doing the greatest job because he's just out for the paycheck. So, yeah, it's a little sketchy. It's a little scary. He starts swerving around a little bit as soon as he hits the rain patch. But it's almost like there's essentially a barrier of rain between that last camp and where you're headed. Because that heavy sheet of rain lasts for about another half mile. And then it stops. And it's not quite looking pitch black out, but the clouds are still super ominous. And you left right around lunchtime, so you're only getting here about 2:30, and yet it still looks like it's probably at least like 5:30 at night.
Okay, guys. So we might still be in a horror movie. We might still die.
And
Yeah, but
After-
can like it wait until after dinner first?
Maya,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
going
I
to
could
be the
go.
first to die. I need you to know that.
But I'm not the oldest one here.
Who is the oldest one here? I'm 20.
I'm going to assume the bus driver.
Yeah. Or the camp counselor.
Oh, you
Or
know
the
what,
head
guys?
counselor.
The bus driver is usually the first one to die.
and the bus driver points up at a sign right next to the other one that says, "I'll fucking work at camps." And the car comes screeching to a halt as you come up to a And it looks like a pretty sharp left-hand turn that has a nice little, definitely nice wooden sign that's held up on 2 toothpick-looking sticks, going up about 6 feet in the air, just barely enough clearance for this bus to go under. And there is, you can see Woods Camp on the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, it almost looks like somebody took two 2x4s, cut them down to size, and just smacked them up on there. And you can faintly see it's a Tiny Apple Woods Camp. And the bus comes screeching in and stops right in front of the parking space. The 2 parking spaces that there are at this camp.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
When we stop, I'm still laying down. Like, I'm still like
You've
in the
been...
horizontal position. But you just hear me go, by my calculations, we should be on at the site.
You've arrived at your destination.
He's actually our GPS.
And
Is it still raining?
it
Is it still pouring?
It is not raining. So there was that very brief sheet of rain that just kind of separated the 2 camps in a very bizarre fashion. So it looks like it could rain any minute now, but the skies are at least not crying at the moment. And the bus driver stands up and he goes, "Hurry, get off the bus. Is your stop?" And he jumps off and he just starts throwing everyone's stuff on the ground to get it out of the bus as fast as possible.
More like fucking shit that has sensors on it just kind of like comes tumbling out of my bag. I didn't zip it very well.
My hoverboard's fucked. You smoke weed too.
And he, as you say that, you look at him and he, from behind his back, actually pulls out your hoverboard, which he had very carefully grabbed out.
Yo, this bus driver is kind of a homie, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, you chill, bro.
And then as he hands you that, you hear a voice from behind you go, "Well, we can't have any of that now, can we? You guys remember no technology, right?" And he grabs the hoverboard and he holds out a bag and he goes, "All right, everyone, I'm going to need your cell phones right now. Because this is first of all, you're not going to get any signal out here anyway, because as you all probably experienced along the way, we're a little bit out of the way here. Also, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Head Counselor Derp here. I am the one who you all spoke with before. Cell phones, please."
Yo, Mr. Derp, I'm not giving you my phone.
And he just kind of stares blankly for a second and looks at everyone else and just kind of shakes the bag. He goes, "Cell phones, please."
I don't have a cell phone. Every piece of technology I touch malfunctions, so I don't need it. It's fine.
Oh, hey Venom. I'm gonna have you add a tag for me that is bad with technology. If you did not already have that.
It is on my list.
Okay,
but
okay, perfect, perfect.
Okay.
I love
right.
that we're like opposite in that way.
So
Okay, but
he,
like, how am I supposed to check the weather to know what outfit I'm supposed to wear for the day?
Maya, it's cloudy. You need a coat. Is what you need. That's your outfit for the day, Bibs.
Head
Yeah, but
counselor.
like, is it cold cloudy? Is it raining cloudy? Is it just cloudy because the sun wanted to take a nap? Like, I need to know exactly which coat I'm supposed to wear.
And
There could be hoodie weather. There could be raincoat weather.
Maya, I
There's a
might
lot of
become
coats.
the horror movie killer if you don't shut up.
Head Counselor Derp jumps in and goes, "Actually, just so you know, every morning we do have a weather report that we get to do. I have actually, believe it or not, I've got some meteorological skills, so I know exactly what's going to happen the rest of said day. As for today, it's going to be a nice balmy, obviously, we're not going to have a lot of sunshine today, but it's going to be just like a nice mild 75 degrees. You're going to be perfect wearing what you're wearing."
Okay, here you go then. And just hands over the phone without any issue. Just plops it in the bag.
And then he holds out the bag in front of Bart, and he shakes it, goes, "Cell phone, please," with this big shit-eating grin.
So I can give you my phone, but I cannot give you my watch because it is directly tied to my glucose monitor because I have diabetes.
"Oh, I don't need the watch. The watch is fine. I just need your phone."
Cool.
And then he turns and holds the bag out in front of Todd and goes, "All right, bud, cell phone, please."
So, I reach into my pocket and I go, "I only have paperclip and string." And then, while he's saying that, not out of my facial area speaker, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. You hear somewhere else on my person here searching for signal.
Dude,
And
Counselor
Got Maya.
Derp,
You just
Are
got
you
Maya
not-
staring at you.
are you not gonna put fucking Wish Ultron in that bag? He's clearly a robot.
and
I
you know,
think he's just from Canada.
No, wait, I want him to stay. Because
Oh,
if he is a robot, I might have some fun putting him back together.
and Counselor Derp looks and goes, "No, Bart, just so you know, we have a very, very good vetting process here, so there's no way he is anything other than a normal human being. I'm sure that's probably just his cell phone that he has and doesn't really want to give up. Right, bud? You know what a cell phone is, right?"
Yes, a cell phone is a device used to communicate between humans.
Perfect. See, he knows exactly what he's talking about. You know what? Your phone says there's no signal, so it's fine. We'll let you keep that one on you. All right? And he holds out the bag in front of you one more time. Goes, here's a chance.
Well, if Todd can keep his phone, I'm keeping mine.
It's not how it works. I'm gonna need your cell phone.
You know, Mr. Derp, you're lame, and I'm just gonna take it out of my back pocket and like it's one of those like clear cases that I took like black nail polish and like painted the back and then like used a freaking like magic marker to like draw some pattern on and I just toss it in the bag.
All right, he goes, perfect. Bus driver, thank you for taking them all here. And he just gives him the finger and just speeds off. And he goes, well, campers, as you all already, I'm sure, know, my name's Head Counselor Derp. It is such a pleasure to have you all here. We have you guys here a day early because obviously we want you to have a chance to get yourself a little bit familiar with the camp, get your sea legs, as it were, for being a counselor, and be prepared to enjoy yourself. So, if you have any questions, I am absolutely here to help. But yes,
Got Maya
yes,
raises
you.
her hand.
All right, and we'll start with Rudy.
I gotta go drain the snake. Is there a bathroom?
Absolutely.
Or do I just go in the woods?
I mean, it's whatever floats your boat. We do have actual restrooms. It's not plumbed, but there's an outhouse, and he points just a little bit over to the right over there next to our main hub building right over here. Maya,
Perfect.
I think your
Rudy's
name
gonna
was.
go to the bathroom, and Venom is going to go to the bathroom.
Perfect. And next he points over to Maya and goes, yes, you have a question.
So are the campers gonna be like actual apples?
And he just blinks, and for a half a second, you can't help but notice that his smile almost fades. Then he recovers, and he goes, no, it's kids. You're gonna be watching kids. Todd, your name was, I think. What was your question?
My name was Todd. Yes, I just wanted to confirm that we are watching little human children, correct?
Yes, that is correct. They're honestly all right about 10 years old. Yeah, what can I answer for you?
Are you sure that like any of us are qualified to watch actual children? Like that one is acting very I think the only one that seems capable of taking care of actual children is our buddy Rudy, who seems like he's never left the farm before.
It'll be fine.
Plenty of experience around kids. I was a kid once.
See?
I am programmed, well versed in taking care of children.
See?
Human children.
Everyone here has been completely vetted, and there is no reason to have any faith in anyone.
I have another question.
Yes.
Is there any kind of like mechanics, little like club thing that we get to like teach them how to fiddle with stuff or
No, unfortunately there is no technology out here. We do like to keep it traditional, well, we'll talk more about what this camp actually was once the kids are here tomorrow, but this is something that we like to keep traditional. It may be reopening after about 35 years of being closed, but we really like to keep this place as a nice little escape. I'm sure you saw the other camp along the way. They've got all kinds of newfangled technology and things like that. We don't need that out here. We're here to remind everyone that you can have a good time without technology. Isn't that right, Todd? And he just kind of gives you one of those.
That is correct.
Wow, Canadians are so weird.
Maya, I don't think he's from
I was gonna
Canada.
say, do we need to add the tag Canadian question mark?
Adding tag right now. That was a great ad.
So
You also see when I talk, my upper head is separated from my lower half of my head.
so straight up like a South Park Canadian moving your head. All right, beautiful, beautiful. So Counselor Derp looks you all over and he goes, "Okay, well, so the kids will be here first thing tomorrow morning. Probably not the same bus driver. I usually try not to have the same person come out here twice because I like to keep things nice and simple out here, and we don't really want anybody fully knowing where the place is. Yo, what's up, Victor? How you doing, my dude? But for now, you guys have a warm place to stay. The camp counselor bunks, right over that way. If you just keep going on past the main building here, you can find your counselor buildings. It is separated. There is, if you care about it, there's a half for female, half for male. We don't judge here. Whatever you guys are comfortable with, go right ahead, but go make yourselves at home. If you want, I can help take your bags over there, and after you get all situated, maybe mingle amongst yourselves. I'll meet you guys over at the mess hall for some dinner."
Yeah, no, Mr. Derp, don't touch my shit. And I just kind of start scooping my my contraband into my bag and like swing it over my shoulder.
And he stares at you while you're doing it. He just kind of gives a little smile and just starts walking away. And you guys all start making your way over towards the counselor bunks. And as you start making your way past the building, you can't help but notice that there is this giant, gaudy statue directly behind it that looks like an apple, or excuse me, two apples connected, if you might say. It's a cherry. It is a giant cherry with some big old googly eyes, two simple legs with some tube socks, and two scrawny little arms connected at the top with a nice little stem. And he's just kind of giving a little wave. Bart, give me a d6.
Oh, okay. Roll.
Right out the gate.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you don't really notice anything out the ordinary. It's weird. Don't get me wrong, the statue was weird, but everything's just totally normal. You guys start making your way. I can't believe the tiny apple is giant. You start making your way over towards your bunks to get yourselves all situated.
I kind of, because my character is non-binary, so I look back and forth between like the male side and the female side. And on the female side is Maya. So I'm going to go hang out with the guys.
Fair.
I'm walking in and I see the male side, I see the female side. I'm assuming there's probably like a utility closet, and I go and open that door. And I just walk into that.
Perfect. All right, Bart, which way you going?
I choose the bunk next to the girls because I'm a fuckboy.
Okay. So how, you know what, we'll double back for that. Rudy, which side are you going for?
I'm going to go to the male side because I was raised in a really traditional household where there's only 2 genders.
Oh, no.
And I'm definitely male. So.
All right, and Maya, obviously, which side are you going for?
I'm kicking it all by myself. I have the entire girl side just all to me because, like, they knew I needed so much space to
And
put all of my clothes.
as you start putting all your stuff over the entire bunk, as you're almost done with the last bunk, Bart, question. Did you want to be in the bunk that was closest to the female side, or did you want to be in a bunk on the female side, considering now that it
Put
is
me
just
in
Maya?
the first bunk on the female side.
All right,
Yes.
perfect. So as that last bunk, Maya is about to throw a little bit more stuff on top of it, she sees you just come sliding in.
Literally, I do a flip into the cot.
All right, I'm gonna have to have you roll on that one.
Wait,
we
but
gotta
real
see if you
quick-
can eat shit or not.
It is really funny though that Rudy is being somewhat non-binary / transphobic because I am femme presenting.
This is gonna be very interesting.
It's Chris with a K.
I rolled a 2.
Ooh.
All right, so you. Oh no. Actually, let me check the rules. Is it?
How does this go terribly
I was gonna say,
wrong?
with a 2 to a 3, is that where I decide? Oh
Yes.
no, you. Okay, so describe just what happens in you failing to slide into this bunk.
Oh.
With your
Sweet.
backflip.
Okay, so I'm like running up to the bed and I throw my fucking bag down and I do a front flip, but when I hit the bed, I hit on my shoulder and I bounce off that bitch right into the next cup.
Oh.
You're young. You'll be fine.
He bounced, so.
My
I really put my head up and I'm like, that was fucking intentional. Yeah.
Wait,
Maya, how do
one
you
of the
respond?
ones that Maya's already like put stuff on.
Yep, he was aiming for and threw his bag on the last one that things hadn't been put on, and he is now bounced onto, we're gonna say the one that you were specifically going to sleep in. It is where you had started laying out all your bedding and everything.
Okay.
Damn, that's crazy. Intentional.
Well, could you like intentionally move? Cause that's where I'm supposed to sleep.
I mean, but why? Well, why don't you like me?
I didn't say that. I just would like you on your bed. See, like, let me show you. I know this might be like a really new experience for you. You're like so little. But like, so normally you have your bed, which is over here, and then like I have my bed, which is all of these over here.
Immediately hop up and I jump to the other side of my bed and I start pushing it up against hers.
I hope you know I'm gonna have to have you do another roll. We're gonna have to see if you have the strength to move this bed.
A 5.
All right. Let me double check on a 5. All
Just
right,
tell me
so
that these were like slightly bolted down, so it's just like scraping across.
they were bolted down, but these are like cheap as can be metal bunk beds. So this thing, like, you can see the long gouge that it's creating along the way as you slide your bed, which was essentially like, her bed is here, yours was here, so you just slide it around, try to awkwardly angle it in between her bed and the bunk that was going to be across from it, with this giant gash the whole way, and just lay yourself up in it. And as you finish moving it around, we'll go ahead and hop over to the other side of the bunk. And we'll leave it up to you guys if you're doing anything.
How many bunks are there along the wall?
So it's essentially a 4x4 room, as
Okay.
far as the bunks are concerned. There's 4 bunks by 4 bunks.
Okay, so it's like diagonal, or like at an angle?
Pretty much, yeah. So there's 4 bunks along the wall that is closest to the door, and then 4 along the other side wall, and then it's just kind of an open room throughout the other thing.
Okay.
Oh, it's like orphanage style. That's
Pretty
great.
much, yeah.
So I'm gonna pick whichever one is like in the most centered on the male side of things.
Okay.
Because
In front of a window or not in front of a window?
not in front of a window.
Okay.
In my head, my logic is that the killer would either go for the ones that are closest to the door or furthest from the door. So by the middle, but away from a window, I should be the safest.
Okay, perfect. So you are
And I'm gonna
in-
go top bunk, so I'm least visible.
You're in the second from the end on that right-hand wall. So there's a window literally in front of the third bunk. The second bunk, you're completely clear.
Perfect.
Also, before we started today, I was like, fuck, do I have enough things planned with my 5 items? Here we are 40 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to the kids getting there.
We might just do everything before the kids arrive, you guys. Like, there may be no campers. Because the camp counselors are all murdered.
Rudy, where are
Turns
you
out
going?
the kids are the bad guys. They show up and we just get eviscerated.
The
It's just
kids
some
were the
children in the corn
murderers
shed.
the whole time.
Rudy, where are you grabbing a bunk?
So I'm gonna grab. Okay, just to make sure that I understand. So
Yes.
we're all in the same room. It's not 2 different bunk houses. We're all in the same room, but there's like a separated area between
So
girls and boys.
essentially smack dab in the middle, there is a separating wall. On the boys' side of the cabin, there is the utility closet. On the other side, there's nothing. It's just a giant wall right there. There is a door going in between the 2 rooms. So there's like on the
Okay.
far side, there's the utility wall, and then about halfway down, like weirdly in the middle of the wall. It's not like close to the door, so you can go in and then immediately to the other one. Oh no, you got to go about halfway in the room, and then there's the movie in.
Okay, gotcha. So I want to be top bunk. right next to the door, or whatever's closest to the door.
Okay, perfect. And Todd, you stick into that utility closet?
Todd found a perfect room for himself. This is way bigger than the one at home.
Oh
Oh no!
Todd's charging station is just kind of like in Harry Potter's little closet under the stairs.
The Canadian housing market is in shambles.
Oh. And as you all finish unpacking and starting to situate yourselves over an intercom that sounds about as staticky and terrible as physically possible, you hear, "Soup's on! Come on down, you guys! If you can't help finding your way over to the mess hall, don't worry. Once you find Tappy, the tiny apple, which I'm sure you guys already saw, I'm hoping you're in your cabins, but you can hear this everywhere. Take a left at Tappy and you'll find us right over there."
Dinner.
I wasn't blessed with an overabundance of brains, but isn't that technology?
No, that's
And
dinner.
over the intercom you hear, I know you're asking right now, no, this isn't technically technology. This is old enough that it was definitely a thing when this camp was originally here. Alright? Don't ask any questions. See you for dinner. Please tell me he has an oil can labeled maple syrup.
That's my friend Danny.
I feel
let's
like
go.
you need that now, Todd. Like, you need to have an oil can labeled maple syrup.
Maybe that's what he's gonna find. Alright? It might happen. It might have to happen.
So now Rudy is under the impression that this is a two-way intercom because you heard my comment, and so now he's thinking you're spying on him all the time.
And as that thought enters your brain, you hear over the intercom, I'm actually not spying on you guys. I promise. I've done this a lot for other camps before. This isn't my first time running a camp, and I'm just used to these questions. There's nothing weird going on here. We'll see you guys at the mess hall. Bye.
Guys, you can read minds.
So I'm gonna look at Rudy as he's whispering that and be like, "Yo, Rudy, I don't think he can read minds. I just think he's the killer."
It's okay, guys. They have the same technology in juvie.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Cool. Yo, what's Juvie like, man? And we're just gonna talk about that while we're walking to go get dinner.
And as you guys are walking towards dinner, you can't help but notice that there is a very crusty-looking old man who is standing runs on DOS. Who's standing right next to the big old, which, you know what, I could even bring it on screen here if we want. I should have
You can use it to cover the tear in reality that's forming behind.
Don't worry about it,
yes,
Joshua. And fun fact, what's happening over there is I have a lime green semi-sheer shower curtain that is used as my old green screen, but has now been retired.
Tappy!
We're just gonna not pretend the fabric of reality is being torn.
Wait, move
but
Tappy
you
over to
see-
cover
I was
it.
gonna say, we're just gonna put Tappy right there now. It's super inconspicuous. But you see a
Yo,
statue.
it looks like Tappy's
that.
going shit on my head.
Like
It'll just be hits. It's okay.
It's just teabagging you.
So as you guys are walking up to the statue, which you see looks a lot like that dude, but obviously not in color. It is just a simple bronze statue that looks exactly like that with the thin mouth and everything. And there is this crusty-looking old man who is sweeping the dirt in front of the statue. As you guys are walking
Animal
by.
Crossing?
Yes. We must keep the area clean. Do you need any assistance?
And he looks at you. He goes, No. I don't need assistance, but you might need assistance.
And I'm just gonna kind of grab Todd by the sleeve and
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna
It's
grab
the crotchety old man that warns the kids that they're all about to fucking die.
literally.
How did you know?
I'm gonna grab Todd by his sleeve and just kind of drag him along because I was thinking exactly what Bart was just thinking, and just tell him, "No, sweetie, that's we don't clean outside, friend. Come on, let's just go."
And Bart, go ahead and give me another D6.
I'm learning.
Oh, sweet. Okay. And... 1.
Yee!
bitch.
Crit fail,
You're
crit
trying to
fail.
do some fun shit off one of your powers, and every time it's like, actually, nah, nothing fucking happens. You don't see shit. I mean, obviously, there's a weird old dude who's sweeping the dirt, but you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
I know what that would have been.
And he grabs your arm as you're walking by, and he goes,
Hey, how's about this? How's about this? Give me a redo. Give me a redo. I walk up to the old man and I whisper in his ear, "Hey, buddy, what's really going on here?"
Just
So-
so sweet.
all right, you know what? I'll let you do that. So
I rolled a 4 that time. Does
Okay.
that count?
let's see here. What is a 4 to 5 again? A 4 to 5. Okay.
Success, but you picked.
4
So
to 5 should be you.
you didn't see anything, but as he quickly grasps your wrist, and you ask him, "Hey, buddy, what's going on here?" He goes, "Watch for the vines," and he lets go, and he goes back to sweeping the ground.
Pretty sure this guy's done more drugs than me, and I just keep going off to get food.
And you all make your way to the mess hall, where there's
Making our way
a
downtown.
surprisingly
Just like
robust.
stamping the whole way over. I've got like my arms tucked in close to my body while just like kind of like doing the forks and knives motion with my hands. Just, dinner, dinner, dinner. Yeah. Just the whole way, every step.
Beautiful.
While
Absolutely
we're
beautiful.
walking and Maya is doing that and I'm still kind of dragging Rudy along behind me, I'm just gonna scoop down and pick up a pebble and I'm gonna yeet it at the back of her head.
All right, you're
Just
gonna
a
have
pebble,
to-
not like a big rock or
Give me a
anything.
d6 then.
That knocked her out. Just
A 5!
It's like, dang, Maya was accidentally removed from the game.
Maya gets hit directly in the temple and is now permanently concussed. She is unconscious the rest of the time. It's been fun, Whipples. You absolutely whip this thing out there, and it conks Maya directly in the right hand. Not enough to like actually do any damage, but enough that it definitely stings.
It was a small round pebble, by the way.
Exactly.
This was
It's-
not like a big
it's
rock.
nothing deadly, but it's gonna leave a little bruise.
Do we see this happen?
If you want to try and look for it, give me a d6.
Okay.
I will be. Yep.
The question is does Maya notice?
What? I gotta walk.
Oh no! So
I rolled a
Rudy sees
5.
nothing. Okay. So,
Wait, what did Rudy roll?
Joshua, as you Rudy rolled a 1. So Rudy doesn't see shit. Rudy's at the front of the pack, just leading the way right towards there, because Rudy knows what's going on, and Rudy's gonna make sure you get there. So you are essentially, it is Rudy in the front, Maya right behind, both Chris and Todd side by side as Chris is pulling Todd up to the front, and after getting grabbed by the very weird old man, we've got Bart in the back. So Bart, you very clearly see her just yeet this stone and smack Maya directly in the hand.
I run up to Maya and I grab her hand and I go, "Oh, Pookie, are you okay?"
God damn it. Maya, how does that make you feel?
hydrates, right, guys?
I can't hydrate. I'm out of water, y'all.
Can
Oh, here,
can
have some
I-
more moonshine.
Oh, thanks,
Can
friend!
I leave the noticing to the fates? Because I'm not sure if I want her to have noticed she got smacked with a rock or not.
Fuck it. Yeah, go ahead and give us a roll.
We got a whole ass 6 on this one.
Okay, so, with that being a 6, so the way 6s work in this game, it's a critical success. And what it means is they get to add a tag to their character. So Maya, I'm going to let you decide whether you want to notice it or don't want to notice it.
You know what? We're gonna notice it, but can we do it with the airhead tag so she has absolutely no idea what it is?
Okay.
She just knows.
So
Something hit her.
Right.
you feel something hit your hand. You know what I'm going to have you add as a tag? Doesn't bruise easily.
Works for me.
So you feel it with your hand, you feel something smack it, but you don't notice any mark, you don't really feel any pain or anything. It's just, as far as you know, something just brushed up against you.
Oh my gosh, guys, I think this camp is haunted.
I've been saying that since we got here!
I definitely felt something on my hand, and there's like nothing here.
Fish, that wasn't a ghost. I threw a rock at you.
Are you the ghost?
I came here with you, Maya!
I want to let you know that I heard absolutely none of that because
Yeah.
it peaked out on my end. So I just heard you
Yeah.
lose your mind. And that made that 20 times funnier.
Honestly,
God.
at that point, it's just like Chris screaming incoherently into the abyss.
And as you finish screaming incoherently, the doors to the mess hall swing wide open, and there he is once again, very cheery. Head Counselor Derp goes, you guys finally made it. Dinner's starting to get a little bit cold, so you better hurry on in here. Linda put in a lot of work to make sure you guys feel nice and welcome in this camp. Come, have a seat. And he waves you all inside.
Yo, Mr. Derp,
Yes.
I think you're a serial killer.
And he just
Yeah,
kinda-
you're awful cheerful.
and, he
And I
just
mean
kinda-
awful. It's awful how
I
cheerful you
would
are.
be cheerful too if I had a bowl of cereal.
Also, Mr. Derp, she's
Hopefully
she's
there's a
fucking,
straw bowl for that
Took me a
cereal.
second.
she's a fucking idiot. I'm just saying.
Excuse me, camp counselor.
Yes.
You didn't tell us that we would be taking care of ghosts too. Are those more like the tiny apple children, or are those like camp pets?
No, this isn't a Children of the Corn situation. There are no ghosts here. I don't know where you
there's-
got that impression, but
There's definitely ghosts here.
no, there are no ghosts. Feel free to search around if you want. Ghosts don't exist.
There's
they
definitely ghosts here, you guys. This is the one thing I agree with Maya on.
You have obviously never read the Gospel of Meepus. You should know there are no such thing as ghosts. Meepus becries it. No ghosts.
Sir, I'm wearing a Meepus hat right now. Meepus is fine with ghosts, dude. But like, are you good?
And he just smiles and goes, "Yep. Food zone." And each of you
Turns out
have.
Chris is from the revised Church of
He's more of an Old Testament Meepus kind of dude.
I'm
So-
over here with the book of Meepus in my bag.
Hey, Sam, what is up, my dude?
Just raised from the dead? I could have sworn.
You would think it'd be hard to figure out where you should be sitting because it's a fairly large mess hall. There's like 3 sets of about 10-foot long tables, all with at least 15 chairs at each of them. But there's one table that only has 5 chairs, right? 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 chairs. Sorry, we had a counselor drop off. I had to do my math right. I'm sorry, you guys.
It would have been funnier if there was the 6 chairs, and then he's like, "Yeah, something happened to one of our counselors."
You know
man."
what? Brett on that, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's weird. I thought there was gonna be one more." And he just kind of carefully grabs a chair. And folds
Wait,
it
hold
and
up.
puts it
Is
in
that the
corner.
ghost? Is that the ghost chair?
Once again, there are no
There
ghosts.
are ghosts.
There are no ghosts. Have a
Yo,
seat.
I swear there was supposed to be
Keep the
another one.
ghost all to himself.
I think there might be a ghost counselor, you guys.
And as you guys are having your ghost conversation, you come walking up to the table, and there are 5 surprisingly beautiful looking meals. And you'd think it would be hard because they're all different. You think it'd be hard to decipher which one is yours, but each of you immediately sees your favorite meal sitting right there at the table. Chris, what is sitting in front of your spot?
Contrary to Caitlin, Chris is a massive fan of pepperoni pizza.
All right, so you got just a nice fat slice, thin or thick crust, or Chicago.
Thick crust.
All right, we got a nice fat slice of thick crust pepperoni pizza sitting there. There's also an extra smaller slice on a tiny, tiny plate, just in case you need a little something extra. We'll go ahead and go over to Maya next. What is sitting in front of your plate?
Let's see. I'm expecting to see a big old straw bowl spaghetti with a giant meatball on top.
God damn it! There is... So there is a beautiful bowl of spaghetti on a very simple, classic powder blue straw bowl.
I just imagine
And a meatball
JD in
the
their
size
home in
of
the
your
background
fist.
losing
I
it.
know.
I'm pretty sure he has his earbuds in and has been trying to ignore them. I don't know if it's working.
A
Petitioning
meatball
for them to keep the straw bowls.
honestly, about the size of your fist sitting right in the middle.
Yes.
And no silverware. Because obviously, if you're eating spaghetti, you're eating it just straight up through the straw bowl.
But there's a
That's how you gotta
meatball.
do it. Yeah, you gotta eat it by hand.
Does Maya eat with her
There are
hands?
wet naps.
No, we're roughing it. This is camping.
Venom knows what's up. Look at that.
Oh no, I just
I need to see Maya attempting to slurp the meatball off the straw. That's right. No, what you actually have is you have an extra second small plate that's just the right size for the meatball to sit on. Once you're done sucking the spaghetti through that, you set the meatball, you literally, like, you put the meatball on top, you put the small plate on top, you flip it over, so then you have your plate, and what you have to do is you have to stab the meatball with the spoon, or with the straw, and then suck it up through there. That's how you eat it. That's how you get the good juice. Just like with cheese,
Perfection.
it's layers. If you don't get the whole slice of that meatball through a straw, it doesn't taste as good. And with that, let's go on over to Rudy. What's on your plate?
concerned.
I'm gonna have fish and chips, and the fish is catfish.
All right, beautiful. You got some of the most crispy and delicious fish sitting right there in front of you. Any seasoning on those chips?
Oh, no. But I eat them with ketchup.
Okay, all right. And you got some nice gourmet ketchup sitting there in a nice little tiny bowl. Perfect size for dipping. All right. Next up, we're going to go over to
What the fuck
Bart.
is gourmet ketchup?
Right?
It is actually a
Gourmet
thing.
sweet tomato sauce.
Believe it or not, there is
not
actually
Heinz. That's what it
a
is.
thing. Pretty much, yeah. It's typically a lot less sugar, too. So you actually get to taste a little bit more of the acidity. But we'll go ahead and do Bart before we move on to Todd last.
I got a charcuterie board.
Delicious.
It's got
I
it's
quit
got
the campaign.
all the
Tappy can
meats,
take my
all the
place.
cheeses. It's actually on a fucking board that looks like a shark, and engraved on the side of it is charcuterie board.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I'm dead.
Last but not least, Todd, what is your dream meal?
So, as I'm sitting there, my plate's actually empty, and I pull out that paperclip that I had earlier, and I say, I go, this is enough for me for tonight. Thank you. And I just start to somehow take apart this paperclip, and it goes into
Now,
what appears to be where I could eat it. But
do you want
I
to...
think he might be dyslexic.
I thought it was Canadian.
Maybe that's a type of Canadian?
That's the province I'm from.
He's actually from Dyslexia.
Dyslexia Canada.
I can just imagine internal processing, just updating the blanks that are in the information. Like, yes, these are real things. I'm learning so much.
It's way up north. Yeah, no, you guys are currently informing the next generation of AI. I hope you're ready for what you're creating.
Yes.
So you all sit down in front of your delicious meals, and Head Counselor Derp comes walking over, concentrated with death, no progress bar on the bottom. Counselor Derp comes walking up, and he goes, "Here, why don't I introduce you guys to who made you all this absolutely beautiful meal, and who's going to be taking care of cooking the rest of our time here." And he goes, "Linda!" And this lady comes out who just looks like your pretty traditional, 60-something old lunch lady. She's got upper crust syndrome, so she's really hunched over, and she's going to tilt her head up pretty heavy to see you guys. And she goes, "I hope you enjoyed. I worked very hard on this." Takes a puff of her cigarette, just goes walking away.
Yo, wait,
lie,
Miss
I know
Linda.
this is from Walmart. I know you got this at Walmart. It's all good.
Linda, come back. Can I have a puff?
Dude.
You want a puff? Here, throw a joint to Chris.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
Do you need, do you
And
need,
as
do
you
you
know
need
what,
a light? And pulls out a little, a tiny little Zippo lighter that's in the shape of a unicorn.
Fuck it, yeah, Maya, I'll take that
Joshua.
shit.
are you actually throwing her the joint?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a d6.
Do I need a D6 for my catch?
Nope.
6.
Oh shit!
Fuck
Okay.
yeah.
Damn.
So as you go to throw this, you lock eyes with Head Counselor Derp. And you throw it over to Chris. And he just looks and smiles and goes, okay, cool. Don't give that to the kids. Don't do it around the kids. You guys are good. And he, you light it using the unicorn lighter that Maya has brought with her.
Dude, my new tag is fucking bullseye.
I like it.
Oh, fuck
I like
yeah.
it. Perfect. And head counselor Derp comes and sits. So essentially, he's sitting at that spot that's the head of the table, closest to the little kitchen window, and you guys are like 2 on one side, 3 on the other on those closest spots. And he sits down, and as he's about to sit down, he turns the chair around and sits down like a good old college professor with a backwards chair, straddles it up, and he goes, all right, so, you guys got any questions for tomorrow when the kiddos get here?
So I'm going to take a puff, and I'm going to blow it directly in his face and be like, Mr. Derp, the fuck is the point of this camp? Because I haven't seen anything for kids to do here so far.
And he just kind of... It's weird. You see the smoke hit him, and he does not at all flinch. And he just goes, well, have you explored around the camp yet?
I mean,
Have you seen what we have to offer?
I looked when I was walking to my cabin and back over here. It looks really dilapidated.
There's trees everywhere, so you didn't get to see everything. Fun fact, there's actually a lot of things to do. I wanted to tell you guys what you have coming tomorrow outside of the 10 kiddos that are going to be here. We actually got 5 things for you guys to do. We'll go over it in...
Did you say 10?
So there's
10.
There's 2 kids for each of us?
Yeah, you needed 5 of us for 10 kids?
That seems excessive.
Right?
We wanted to make
guys,
sure.
it's the ghost kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
the
yeah.
ghost
Okay.
Now, I'll leave it up to you guys if you want
knew
to...
there were
If you want to
ghosts.
group up, or if you guys want to... I mean, we'll get into that tomorrow. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're just here to, get you guys a little bit comfortable with the camp. So obviously we have this place right here. 2 things happen in this area. If you look over in that back corner, you'll see there's some stairs up. That's actually where we have our art room. We're going to do some arts and crafts with the kiddos. It's going to be great. We're going to help them all make some tiny apple crocheted napkins to take home to their parents. We got a bunch of stems from them. It'll be great. Obviously, there's the kitchen here. We want the kids to be able to learn a little bit of something, so they'll get to work with Linda, and you guys will be there to supervise and make sure everything's okay, so they can learn how to cook from Linda, one of the most classically trained chefs I have ever met in my life.
Why do we have to supervise another adult supervising these kids?
Why do we have to ask questions?
I throw my fingers up in quotes, supervise.
5 counselors enter, 1 counselor leaves Thunderdome. We got the swim club, where, I know, Maya, this one we were especially excited for you to be able to be here for. We got a nice little lake that is super, it's not very clear. The water's not the greatest around here, but it is swimmable. It has been treated. There is no sewage runoff that comes here, so it's a swimmable lake.
I think Todd should help Maya with the swim lessons.
Todd does not work with water. Todd, am afraid of water, like many humans.
Wow, didn't you know Canadians have never seen water before? It's all ice.
Oh, that
Yes,
makes so
exactly.
much sense.
I only work with frozen water.
I don't know if that's
It's
how
okay,
that
Todd,
works.
though.
Guys.
I'll teach you how to swim. You'll be in good
No,
hands, I
no,
promise.
No, Todd must not go near water.
I'm just taking another hit of my joint that Bart gave me because I'm like, this is fucking batshit.
And he goes, what's up?
No, see, we're in the cabin. It was not raining. We're in the hall. It hasn't been raining, correct?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay.
It has been
Just wanted to make sure.
completely clear. There was just that patch of rain that you guys drove through. Outside of that, it's been overcast as hell, but there's been no rain. The other 2 things that you guys have to do, because again, technology free here. The most technology we have is our kitchen, but even that, it's a gas stove.
That's
Everything's
incorrect.
very traditional.
The most technology we have is Todd.
And he kind of gives you a weird look, and he goes, "What are you talking about? Todd's a normal Canadian. Have you never met a Canadian before?"
Hey, Todd, are you actually from
Yes.
Canada, or is that just some crazy shit that Maya said?
No, of course I'm from Canada. Look at me. I am
Okay.
Todd from Canada.
Sing,
20 years old.
sing me the Canadian national anthem, my guy.
Unfortunately, I do not have a good singing voice.
Okay, then speak it to us. What are the words?
All right, Todd. Here comes the question.
Todd starts to calculate right now. You see him kind of figuring out how to do this. Do you want me to roll for it?
I was gonna say, give me a roll, and then we're gonna decide what you're gonna Google search. So, fun fact: one of the things that we have, because I'm sure you can figure out, he's totally real human. We're gonna have some rolls where Ethan has to do a Google search, and whatever the results are his answer to it. So, what'd you get on your roll?
He got a 1.
You got a 2.
A 2?
Oh, no. Okay. So the good news is, on a 2, you get to describe how you fail on this one.
Oh.
So,
Oh, puppy!
oh.
Let me. Oh, I know. I'm not gonna. So when Todd, when Todd starts calculating to figure out when he is asked to at least speak the national anthem, he in turn starts to say. He starts to sing, "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine.
That's fucking brilliant.
You've just got Maya holding on to her spaghetti straw bowl, just expertly slurping this shit up. And going like, oh yeah, that's really good.
And
He's
Counselor
really
Derp goes,
good."
see, he's totally Canadian. That's the Canadian national anthem. We all know this. Celine Dion, Canadian treasure. Anyway, so the other activities that we have going here.
I'm gonna just lock eyes with
wait.
Bart real quick, and I'm gonna be like, I'm too high for this shit.
So Todd, because we're role playing, I'm gonna need you to actually do a performance of this for us.
You did say you were gonna speak it.
I did.
You did say you were gonna speak it and not sing it. So just give us like the first 2 lines. Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
Wait, no. I don't even think he sings or speaks the beginning. I think it's just like a random part in the middle.
That's right. You know what? If you can, pull up the lyrics and just scroll stop wherever and just read that first line.
Near,
I knew that was the part.
wherever you are, I believe that my heart does go on.
And in this moment, you see Counselor
Oh, that was-
reach over and snag the unicorn lighter, flick that thing on, and just start waving it in the air.
Seems like
One. You open the door, and you're here in my heart,
Yo,
and my heart.
how does he
will
sound?
go on.
How does he sound more
And
tone deaf speaking than he probably would singing, you guys?
Because he's a robot.
That's a good.
Nobody.
You know what, Bart? That's a really good point, Bart. I'm just gonna take another hit and I'm gonna blow it at fucking Todd.
He just confirmed he's
just a little-
Canadian. He is
I do- I
I'm a
Canadian.
do
little disappointed.
I want to do.
What
I want
more
to
proof
do.
do you need?
I want to
Does
look
not
around
have
for
a
a magnet.
speaker playing the actual song.
Joshua, unfortunately, this can't believe. Or you know what? Actually, Did you say you're gonna look around for a magnet, or do you just start like scanning the room?
I just start scanning the room for a magnet.
All right. So Counselor Derp locks eyes with you as you start scanning the room, and you start making your way around, and you see him just lock eyes with you, and he goes, "Oh yeah. Fun fact: we don't believe in magnets here. There's no use for them. We don't really have anything metal anywhere, so there aren't any magnets."
How does he know?
Anyway,
You
Wait,
have a
Is it
pod.
because of the compasses? I know
exactly.
this one, it's because it messes with compasses, and then we'd all get lost. It
Exactly.
would be like super scary.
It throws off the magnetic polarization of your compasses.
Can I do a roll real quick?
Yeah.
Because Bart and I are in agreement that Todd is a fucking robot. Part of me is half convinced that Mr. Derp is a robot. I'm a gearhead. Can I roll with an initiative on this
You go
to
ahead.
assess?
Roll with a +1. I'll let you have that.
Advantage.
To try
A
and-
3 + 1, you guys.
Okay, so you get a 4. So, fun
It's a
fact.
success.
That means that I get to describe what the success is. Counselor Derp's not a robot. You scan him up and down, and you can clearly say he is not a robot. He's a human.
He's just
As
weird.
far as you can tell, he's a fucking weirdo. Incredibly and unnecessarily peppy. You don't
twist.
understand him.
Plot twist, he's actually a Canadian.
He's the actual Canadian in this case.
And he goes, yeah, no, anyway, back to the other camp activities. So there are 2 other activities that we have here outside of arts and crafts, cooking, and swimming. Like I said, we like to keep it super close and in touch with nature here. A whole part of our camp here is so kids can have a chance to disconnect from technology and, you know, really touch grass, as some might say. So one of the things that we have here is we actually have a tiny apple orchard. They can go out, pick some tiny apples. Fun fact, we'll actually end up using those for arts and crafts a little bit later in the week again, because the stems just work perfectly. And, you know, if you dry out the pits, which it doesn't take super long, you can use those and you can create some really fun stuff. And the last thing we have is a nice little scenic hike.
Wait. Did you just say if you take out the pit, apples don't have pits?
What are you
Exactly.
talking about?
Bro, he's talking about cherries.
Tiny apples. Tiny
Bro,
apples.
They're cherries.
So
They're tiny
The
apples.
Nuts mascot is cherries.
Yes, it's cherries, Bart.
Give me a d6 roll, because he very angrily says tiny apples.
I got a 6, motherfuckers!
All right, so
And no sound, just
I got a
pure
6.
joy.
Yeah.
I got a 6. I think we underestimate how loud I get when I'm excited, and Sean did not adjust the levels for that.
go ahead. I mean, to be fair, it's where it is for me usually, but my mic also just. I'm very loud too, so it peaks a lot. Go ahead and give me. Do you want to say observant or like in touch with emotions for a tag that we'll add for you?
Observant.
Okay. So you notice his
10,
eye
please?
twitch. Yeah. As he. Oh, pen or pencil?
Pen. Or either or, I don't care.
See, heard it loud and clear. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, cool. Thank
Thankfully,
you.
I mean, they won't. You guys here will still hear us clear the whole time because I don't have any max for my gain. It's like
Yeah,
if
for
it's
whatever
gonna peak,
reason,
I don't care.
the built-in noise gate for Discord is just atrocious.
It's so
Ow.
So what ends
low.
up happening if like you're not directly on top of your mic, it's like not halfway down your throat or something. Like it'll just decide at random you're either too quiet or too loud, and it'll be like no more, all
Exactly.
done.
Well, fuck you too, Discord. Fuck you.
So you notice him get like viscerally angry for a moment as you call them tiny, or call the tiny apples cherries, and then he regains his composure and he goes, "It's tiny apples." Okay.
And this is what got everyone deaded.
Wait, I have a question,
Yes.
Mr. Derp. Where do you keep these tiny apple pits between arts and crafts?
What do you mean?
I mean, I was just thinking that, so our friend Bart here, he's a really sharp shot. It might be fun for the kids to learn how to use a slingshot, and tiny apple pits make
we're
a
not doing
great...
anything dangerous around here. No one ever gets hurt in tiny apple camp.
I mean, to be fair, they really don't, because I threw a rock and it hit Maya, and it didn't affect her at all.
And he
Or Maya's like not paying attention at all either. She's like she's
Maya's
very
in the middle of
concerned,
slurping
like,
down some spaghetti.
she's like slurping down her spaghetti, but she's also got like the world's most concerned look on her face while she's trying to figure out if the camp has tiny apples or cherries, and which one would make the tastier pie.
So Counselor Derp
It's
Stands
actual
up for a
apples.
second.
That's the answer.
turns the chair around and he goes, "Okay, so the campers are going to get here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I'll make sure you guys are up just a little bit before then so you got enough time to get yourselves up." Yes, Rudy, you got a question.
So since we got a lake, can we go fishing?
Sadly, there are not any fish.
Nah,
Yeah,
that was my
it's-
whole reason for coming.
I know, I'm very sorry. I kind of misled you on that one, but it's okay. Trust me, there's other fun activities. You're
Wait.
going to have a great time.
Wait.
Trust me, but you misled him on that.
If there are no fish, where did you get the fish for Rudy's food?
Cars are a thing.
Walmart.
We have a full
Walmart.
kitchen.
I thought you
There's
didn't
a
believe
walk-in
in
cooler.
technology.
Technology up to the point of when this camp originally closed down. Back
I
in the
can't
80s.
keep
We
track of all
bus
the
to get
lads.
here.
Same, Rudy. I'm with you on that one, fam.
And he smacks his hands down on the table. And he goes, "Okay, well, good talk. Enjoy the rest of your dinner."
My ice tower fell over.
Oh no!
Crit fail, crit fail.
In this moment, as he slams down on the table, a glass of water falls and kills Todd. No.
Oh no!
Wait, I can fix him, I can fix him!
No, so he slaps his hands down on the table and he goes, okay, well, like I said, campers will be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so make sure you guys are up in time. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. And he just walks right out the kitchen.
So I'm gonna look at Bart once he's like completely out of earshot, and I'm gonna be like, hey man, you wanna see if we can make a slingshot and find some cherry pits?
Oh, I volunteered.
Let's fucking
I
go.
got real good aim.
Yeah.
So the rest of you spend your night trying and unfortunately not actually finding the pieces to be able to build. Well, is it just the three of you doing it? Are Todd, Maya, are you joining in on this as well? Or are you guys going back to the bunk? What are you guys going to do?
I am looking for things to set on fire.
Hey Maya,
no.
you might be able to light cherry pits on fire.
Ooh,
Todd?
ooh, flaming cherry pits.
Fuck yeah.
With
Maya, you in?
I've just accidentally created weapons. Sick.
Wait, is Maya in?
Yep, Maya's in.
Fuck
Maya's
yeah.
in. Todd.
Todd, you gonna come with
So,
us?
Is anyone going back to the bunk right now?
No.
Nope, they're all going out to try and build
So
slingshots.
Todd, taking advantage of the opportunity, is going to go back to the bunk and search through everyone else's things to try to learn more about them.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's
tell
gonna
you
go well.
right now, the only shit you're gonna find in my bag is a screwdriver, some stolen makeup, and like my clothes. That's it.
Here's how we're going to handle this. Todd, go ahead and give me 5d6s.
5. There's only 4 others.
Oh yeah, 4d6s, excuse me. My brain's still thinking the extra person was
Math.
here.
Hey, they're confused.
Listen, our camp counselor is not a human calculator.
I'm
That's what we
dyslexic,
brought
okay?
Todd for.
I am
Are you Canadian?
Okay. Whoops. So I got a 1, a 4, and 2 5s.
Okay, so you learn absolutely...
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go refill my water and grab a snack.
Mind bringing my water over to life?
Absolutely, I didn't know you didn't have it.
You learn absolutely nothing about Chris. There's... Like Caitlin said, there's stolen goods. There's literally nothing that you can learn about humans from. I'll let you guys decide which order, but Maya, Bart, and Rudy. I don't know why it took me a second to remember your name. My apologies. Maya, Bart, and Rudy. I want you all to tell Todd here one fact that he would learn about your characters from scrounging through your things.
Okay. He would learn that my watch is more than it seems.
Interesting. Okay. All right, Rudy.
Give me a second to think.
You're all good. You were all good. Maya, if you've got one ready, feel free to pop yours off.
Let's see. One of the many bunks of my stuff that's there has a bag with different types of accelerants in them. Various brands and chemical makeup. There's just a couple. There's just like a couple of them.
I have a question for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does Maya try to hide or, like, conceal any of the things that she has as accelerants?
They are in non-traditional canisters, but they're still kept safely, so like they're not like going to be leaking out or like smelling too strongly, but if you like hold them up to your face, you can pretty much smell what they are.
So one might say that you potentially have a canister of oil-based accelerant sitting in a glass maple syrup bottle, potentially?
Abso-fucking-lutely I do.
Todd?
I'm gonna swipe that. Well, I'm going to pick that up and put that in a hiding spot, probably in my closet.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Now, I didn't learn anything from Chris, but did I look through Chris's bags?
You did. You did look through Chris's bags, and
Like
there
I
wasn't
said, all I
anything you could learn
had
about humans.
was makeup, a screwdriver, and clothes.
So all you learned from Chris's bag, because we're gonna say that Chris's bag was the one. So Chris's bag was the just like
So can
literally learned
if
nothing.
I don't learn anything, can I swipe that screwdriver as well?
If you're gonna do that, I'll have you roll for it.
Because Chris
Sure.
would notice their screwdriver going missing.
Well, I'd imagine the can of maple syrup
you
is
know.
probably going to be also a
I mean, to be
You
fair,
say
like
that, but
Maya,
I'm an airhead.
I was gonna say Maya's an airhead, and also,
Okay.
how many
I
accelerants
forgot.
do you have?
Yeah, well,
There's a you gobble in there.
so I learned that the watch might be something more than just a watch, or at least might be something.
As someone who is in tune with technology, you definitely
Yeah.
noticed that watch seems
Then I
familiar.
noticed that Maya probably
Couple
likes to
hundred.
make sure she can stay warm. That'd be a guess. Did I look
Um,
in Rudy's bag?
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll get to
I
that.
was
Oh, I'm
thinking. I'm ready now.
Go for
Because
it.
I did have a little bit of backstory, but I was like, what's my bag gonna tell you? So you find a scrapbook, and it's got a couple of really old pictures in it, like of a gentleman. He's got kind of like that 70s mustache, and some newspaper article clippings about a serial killer. And on the very last page, you see a photo of what could be Tiny Apple Camp, but maybe like 20 years ago. It's an old photo.
So you see a picture that Todd, as a totally real human being with a very good memory, you in this moment remember that the tiny apple was just kind of sloppily, quickly thrown over the top of a portion of the sign. And you see in this picture that the exact same looking sign that you saw on the way in is in this picture, except it says Cherry Wood Camp.
What?
Cherry Woods, excuse me, plural.
I really
Now-
hope you're a secret detective. It'll be so fun.
You were trying to steal the screwdriver, correct?
So I did roll a 4.
Okay.
He stole my
So,
screwdriver.
You stole the screwdriver, and what we're
Keep in
gonna
mind,
say
I
is
probably didn't do, maybe in Chris's case, I didn't probably put away the bag exactly the right way, because I was probably more sloppy, I'd say, on that one.
all right. So next time you touch your bags, we'll have you roll to see if you figure out something's missing. But the rest of you, go ahead and
Cherry pits.
let's see if the other four shenaniganizers. Again, we are an hour and a half in, and we still have not made it to the kids getting here.
I really think you might just have to adjust the plans and kids
We're gonna-
don't make it.
What we're gonna do,
That's
we'll
fine.
see. Honestly,
I'm good
Uh,
with Mitch just being the
There were no
5 of us
showing.
fucking around.
No kids.
Yeah, no, the 5 of us
So-
just fucking around all night. I think sounds like a great
what's
time.
gonna? Yeah, no. Honestly, we're just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna. We don't need that shit anymore.
He literally threw the notebook.
So from here, I'm gonna have all four of you who are trying to find the pieces to make a slingshot. First of all, tell me what portion of a slingshot you're trying to find. Do not communicate with each other. Like, I want you all to say it like, we're gonna go Caitlin, Wibbles, Josh, Venom. Back to back to back. If there is any pause in between, if you say the same thing that someone else is saying, you're not gonna find anything. Does that work for you guys?
Okay, so I'm first, and then
Yep.
who's after
So
me?
it'll be Caitlin, then Wibbles, then Josh, and then Venom. So essentially counterclock. Okay. Oh my god. It's counterclockwise for me.
I was about-
Counterclockwise.
Honor system
I was
go.
gonna say, can I have a second to think about what
Exactly.
it was? that
Yeah,
I was
let
gonna
me
I
know
was
when
gonna say-
everybody's ready, and I'll
Let
start.
me know when you guys are ready. Because take your time whenever you're ready. If give me a little I was gonna say give me a thumbs up, but I can't see half of you guys. But I wanna make sure that like there's a chance that you guys are gonna be looking for the same thing, so you might all succeed, but not actually be able to find everything for building a slingshot. So go ahead and give me a verbal okay. Joshua,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
all right.
Alright.
Maya,
You guys
good to go?
ready?
I think I'm good.
All right.
I'm ready.
Ammo.
Wibbles.
I am looking for flammables, like flammable dippy stuff.
All right. Perfect.
Accelerants.
Perfect.
No,
Joshua.
see, it's not just any kind of accelerant. It's got to be something you can dip the pits into.
Okay.
Like maybe high-proof alcohol.
Joshua.
I'm not actually looking for anything.
All right.
We're fucked.
Rudy.
So I'm looking for something stretchy that can work for the band of the slingshot.
All right.
All right, so we have 2 necessary things, 1 thing that's missing, and something we don't necessarily need, but that could be helpful. Can I roll?
But you're missing. Well, you know what? Actually, because you guys are actually looking for some kind of stretchy something, you could technically make it a hand rubber band.
That is fair.
So you might still be able to make this work. All right, go ahead, and the 3 of you who are actually searching for something, give me a d6. And at the same time, Joshua, who are you hanging near?
I'm not hanging near anybody. I just go off on my own.
Okay, so
I
go
just-
ahead
I just-
and give me a d6 roll. All right, Caitlin got a 2.
I
I
did
would
not
like to
find the
point
cherry
out-
pits.
I got a 5, but I also knocked over my tower.
I also got a 5.
Okay. And Wibbles, what did you end up getting?
I got a tree.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and I think we'll do roughly the same order of how you guys rolled. We'll start with Caitlin. So
I failed, but I
you
get to
got a
pick.
2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't find anything, but tell us how you failed your mission.
So, since he mentioned that we use cherries in, like, the arts and crafts, and also in cooking, I started in the arts and crafts room, went upstairs and, like, looked around and, like, all the bins and everything that were there, and I couldn't find any. So then I was like, fuck it, I'll go to the kitchen and see if there's any there, and there were no, like, drawers of cherry pits in the kitchen, unfortunately.
All right, Wibbles, we'll have you go next.
So I completely forgot that I brought an entire bag of stuff that could, you know, be set on fire. So I'm just walking around holding the unicorn up to different things to see if they catch on fire. But because I'm outside and it has, like, the weather's kind of dampish over the past little bit.
We'll say that, like, yesterday
nothing-
it rained, so everything is...
Yeah, nothing is taken. So you see this dumb girl just holding it up to, like, obviously still damp items, trying to, like, set
Just
shit on
like
fire.
a wet
Holding
tree.
it up to some moss on a tree. All right, Venom. You succeeded
Yeah.
in finding a rubber band / stretchy material to be able to actually, like, make a portion of this slingshot. So which building were you searching? Were you searching through the mess hall? Were you searching upstairs in the arts and crafts area? Were you in the main camp building? Were you just kind of wandering around aimlessly? Were you in one of the kids' bunks? Where did you go?
I honestly was thinking I went back to the counselor's cabin
Okay.
to get the elastic that's on the fitted sheets.
That's actually really smart.
Super smart. So, unfortunately, you go searching through every bed on the male side, and you don't have luck with what you were looking for. But you go over to the female side, and there happens to be one bed that has a very stretchy material. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they're just simply called, like, sheet suspenders, but, you know, they have the clamps on each side, and you use them so you attach to each side of each corner so you can have them all held together. There happens to be one singular bed with a, Wibbles, what is Maya's favorite color?
Oh, we'll go with pink.
Okay.
That sounds
so
right.
there are some just
Yeah.
vibrant pink sheets that you can't help but notice that they actually have those bed suspenders. This one singular bed that conveniently has sheets that don't look anything like the others, and you go ahead and just snatch all 4 of those up.
Okay.
Okay, but the funniest part is I'm imagining that Rudy just kind of clipped these onto, like, his pants or like his pockets or something, just to kind of hold them in place and not lose them. And I imagine that when he walks past Maya, she would not notice if he did this.
So we'll go ahead and cut over to Joshua. So which direction did you start heading when you started walking out of the mess hall? Did you start heading like back
Towards the lake.
Towards the lake? Okay, perfect. So essentially the central hub of this place, you always have to end up back at that Tappy statue, that little fucker right there. As you go walking towards the lake, past what you're having a little bit of trouble finding it because you see the clearing and the spot where you thought you remembered Tappy, and then you take a right and you're right towards the lake. But Tappy's not there. The statue that you saw as you guys were coming in is is no longer anywhere to be seen.
Cool.
And
we're gonna get killed by giant bronze cherries.
Sick.
And let's see here. Did you roll a 5 or did you add your +1 for seeing things?
That's with my +1.
Okay, cool. So you realize that Tappy, the giant bronze statue that you never did touch, you never actually went to see if it was normal or not. Oh no, Venom, I'm so sorry. It is not there. And now when you four all were like, all right, cool, let's go search for stuff, and then Joshua decided to just go towards the lake for the hell of it. Did you guys say you were going to meet up in any specific location when you were done looking?
We don't plan that far ahead, I don't think.
Okay.
No.
We don't know
I'm
we should do it
drunk,
like that.
so-
Yeah, no, Rudy's been drinking moonshine this whole time. The fact that he thought to grab those fucking suspenders is brilliant.
Fair enough. Fair. So we'll start, I guess, since we'll do it in the order of how you guys either found or didn't find things. So, Chris, where do you head after your unfortunately unsuccessful mission of searching for cherry pits?
Is there a map anywhere?
Yes. So outside of every building, there is a convenient map of the camp.
Okay. Can I say that my character has had a flashlight on them the whole time? She's a gearhead. So, like, she would have brought, and also a horror movie buff, she would have brought a flashlight with her. Like,
I'll say no,
okay.
just because you clarified that you only had the 3 things in your bag before.
Okay. I was
So I'll
thinking
say
it,
no.
I just didn't think to, like, say it out
Fair.
loud.
No, you're all good.
Okay.
Turns out she has a cap lamp on the bill of her head.
Wait. Oh!
You just like tap the Meepus and its eyes light up.
You know what? I'll give
I
you
like
that.
it. I like it. Okay.
The Meepus, the eyes just light up vibrantly.
Okay.
And beautifully.
So, you said there is a map.
Yes, there
Okay.
is.
So, where is the map?
So the map, as soon as you turn, or like you step out the door towards the camp, immediately to your right, on that wall right next to the front door, is the map. So the map
Okay.
shows you, it essentially almost looks like a compass the way the camp is laid out. So you have the center point that's Tappy, you have north is the lake, south is the, essentially the like main building where everyone is greeted. West is, west. It looks like I'm pointing left. You guys, this isn't a waste situation. My left.
Waste.
To your west is the counselor's camp, and to the east is both the mess hall, and then a little bit north of that, kind of, essentially you go behind the mess hall and north towards the kids' cabins.
Okay. Where's the cherry grove?
The cherry grove.
I'm sorry, tiny apple grove.
No, you're all good. The cherry grove is southeast.
Okay.
So your other points, you have the northwest is heading towards the lake, or I mean towards the hiking trail as well.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go get my screwdriver so I have something to carry with me, and then I want to go to the cherry grove.
Okay, perfect. Also, really quick, Raven, if you're still here.
Screwdriver would be great for getting the pits out of cherries.
That's
Yo!
fair. That's
I wasn't
fair.
even thinking that. I was just thinking about it would be good to have a weapon for if I run into the killer.
I haven't seen what you ordered yet, but thank you for ordering stuff, Raven. I'm excited to see what you decided to get. Thank you, friends.
Our
You're the
first order!
So you're headed towards the cherry grove.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you Are you going to stay on the beaten
Well,
path?
first I'm gonna go get my screwdriver.
Okay, perfect.
That was my plan when I mentioned I had a screwdriver, was when I ventured out at night, it was to have the screwdriver as my defensive weapon.
Okay, so you were going to make your way past the central area.
Do I notice the missing tappy?
What was the tag that we added for you? Was it in tune with emotions or was it observant?
Observant.
It was observant.
Give me a d6, and you'll get that +1 for being observant.
Fuck yeah. But do I get a +1 for horror movie buff?
No.
Fuck. Okay. I got a nat 6, y'all.
Okay,
Let's go.
So you can't help but notice that Tappy is not there. That giant statue is absolutely not there. And we'll say you were walking up to this right around the same time, if not just like maybe 15, 20 seconds after Bart realized that the statue was not there.
Okay. Do I get a new tag?
Yeah, feel free to pick whatever you feel like adding for your tag. It doesn't have to be something super pertinent to what's happening right now, because you're just simply...
Can I say sees well in the dark, since I have a hat that has...
You know what? I think that's perfect, actually. Perfect. So we'll double back to you two and your conversation of Tappy not being there. Let's go ahead and cut back over to Maya. So Maya, you have just unsuccessfully forgotten that you have brought pounds of accelerant and we're just trying to light trees on fire.
Wet trees.
What is your move next?
So I have somehow circled my dumbass and very no idea where I am ass back around to where we were for food, and
Okay.
I'm physically sniffing around to see if I can find some. just nose me or like.
All right. So
Like
give
Gizmo,
me-
really?
Honestly, give me a d6. I'm liking where this is heading.
It's a 6.
Now, Libby, I just have
Alright.
a quick question.
I can give you picture proof. I swear.
Libby,
No,
I have
I
a really
trust you
quick
on this.
question. Have you been using a different dice for each of these rolls?
Yes.
Because for
Yes.
those of you who don't know, I think Wibbles currently has, is it like 12 dice or is it up to 15? I can't remember how many exactly. I never counted.
Okay. Actual ones that have verifiable 6 on them.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of them. There's 2 that just have emblems on them, and then the really tiny red ones, they're in increments of like 10. So
Okay.
you can just translate that into 1 through
It's so
6.
that's fucking beautiful.
I would like you to know that both the pride die are the ones that got the 6s.
Let's
The
go.
one that I didn't use the pride die for was the 3.
So what we will have you add as a tag is we'll just call it snack sense.
Next.
And you cannot help but notice the smell of something wafting in from the kitchen. So we're gonna go ahead and cut away one more time, and we're gonna go over to our buddy Rudy before we come on back to start wrapping some other things up.
Almost 2 hours in.
Oh, we still got plenty to go. We'll
I
see how long
know.
this takes. All right, Rudy. So you have successfully stolen from Maya without knowing. Where are you headed next?
Well, now I need to fashion some sort or find some sort of stick because I am handy. If you'd like me to roll for it, I can do that.
All right.
But not handy like Chris is handy, but handy like MacGyver handy.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and
Expect no less
give me
from
a
the
D6.
moonshine haver.
honestly,
Yeah,
That's
right.
a lot better than priest handy. So
What'd you
It's
get?
a 4.
It's a 4. Okay. Perfect. So, which direction are you headed to go looking for sticks? Are you headed back east towards kind of the central hub, where you'd see the Tappy statue? Are you just headed off to the forest? Are you which direction?
Lake out or something.
So,
okay. Go.
I wrote down the map, but I don't know if Rudy has a good sense of direction. Should I roll for that?
We'll say that was a part of rolling to try
Okay.
and find something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well then, I'm actually gonna head towards the cherry grove because I'm probably gonna find some good branches at my level. Because I'm assuming if it's Pacific Northwest, a lot of the trees are pine trees, and
Yep.
those aren't really gonna work for
It's a
slingshots.
little bit too brittle, so heading towards the Cherry Grove is a good move. So you come walking through a little bit we'll say a little bit before Maya, or not Maya, Chris and Bart make their way through. So you come walking through the central area. Rudy's he's not necessarily the most paying attention. Are you going through, like, are you following the beaten path, or are you just kind of making a beeline to try and get to the cherry grove?
I will go through the trees.
Okay, perfect. So you don't pass the Tappy statue. You do remember in the moment to take a peek at the map, see exactly where you're headed. So you're headed southwest, or southeast, excuse me,
Southeast.
to go to the cherry grove. So you cut through very nicely. You make your way there, and as you step towards the cherry grove, you see a massive field of a bunch of cherry trees that, when you walk up to it, it almost makes it look like a maze. Staring at it from the outside. So it coming from a little bit more rural of an area, you can't help but feel like this reminds you a little bit of like some corn mazes that you went to as a kid, but it's cherry trees instead. And sitting smack dab in front of the entrance of that is the perfect slingshot stick. And I think we're going to go ahead and cut over to Todd now. So, Todd, you have just stolen a screwdriver.
That I'm coming back for, bitch.
What is Todd's next
run to
move?
the restroom real quick. I'll
Wait,
be
no,
back
Wiggles,
in
you're
a
good.
second.
You're all good.
I stole a screwdriver, and I did steal the can of maple syrup water from Maya's luggage. I'm pretty sure.
Let's go.
So now,
Thank you, Raven.
what would I do next? That's a good question. I mean, I had no other interest other than trying to learn more about these other humans, of course. So I'd probably go and lock myself in my room for the evening. I'm assuming it's evening, right? That was dinner.
Yeah, so at this point, it's probably about like 8:30. It's super, super dark out because of just how much darker it is around here.
Yeah. Probably gotta recharge, you know.
All right.
That human metaphor of trying to get some rest.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna go into that closet.
Perfect. And you lock yourself up.
Power
Go
call.
ahead and give me a d6. We're going to see if the noise of Rudy grabbing the suspenders wakes you up.
I got a 3.
Okay. So I will let you describe, because I guess your goal was to sleep, correct?
My goal was to sleep.
Okay.
So if it's 3, I would imagine I was able to be disturbed by that.
So go ahead
okay.
and describe how it is that Rudy wakes you up.
Rudy's
I
going
think
to get
we'll
suspenders.
say it's on the way, like, out the door as Rudy's going to leave.
Okay. No, Rudy was a little more quiet in there, but leaving a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so let's just say as I'm drifting off into my human slumber, I hear some heavier footsteps and the door slam.
Perfect.
As Rudy leaves, and so that's when I guess in this case, wake back up, power back on, and peek my head out into the little cabin and see if there was anybody in there or not.
Okay.
So I'm assuming since he's gone, I'm not going to see anyone in there.
Yeah, you won't see anyone in there, but you are absolutely rousted by the sound of Rudy accidentally close the door a little bit louder than he meant to, considering Rudy, at this point, realized that there probably wasn't anyone in there. So the door slams a little bit on the way up, and it wakes you up. As Rudy is walking away, which Rudy, did you have any, you didn't have any light or anything, it was just simply you, right?
I'm sorry, could you read that?
Oh, you're all good. Do you have any light or anything, or it was just simply you trying to decipher your way through the forest? I can't remember if we established that.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just calling it.
Okay, perfect. So you can't help but remember in this moment that everyone was given a very vibrant yellow camp t-shirt. And you see a yellow blur go walking past the window right outside as you open up your private room door.
I'm going to, well, I'd probably assume since everyone was wearing that same color, it was a camper. So I guess I will make my way over to the outside door and open it up and peer around.
Okay, perfect. So you can definitely see that yellow shirt go and making a little bit of a diagonal cut through the forest. Considering your very good navigational abilities, we'll say that you can tell pretty much immediately that that person is headed directly towards the cherry grove. Tiny apple grove,
I guess
some
that
might
right
say.
now I don't have signal, so my GPS is a little down. But
That's fair. So your best guess is that more than likely
calculate.
they're headed.
Okay.
You at least your internal compass tells you that they are headed southeast.
Do you think I would be able to? Because I'm assuming maybe I would have been quote unquote sleeping before I got away. You think I would have been able to figure out how long I would have been powered off?
Yeah, so you were probably powered off for about 20 minutes before you were rousted awake.
All right. So obviously I hear some commotion going on. So and I see this. I guess in my own logical sense, since I'm trying to figure out what other humans are doing, I'm going to be following this yellow figure, or this figure in the yellow. So I'm gonna be, marching my way towards the cherry grove.
I have a question
Yes.
that my character won't know, but I just want to know for, like, whether we're able to do what I want. Did you take my screwdriver with you? Or did you leave it in the cabin?
That is a very important question. You have it on you?
My pocket. Well, I would have everything I grabbed, I'd assume.
Okay.
I would have,
Thank you.
except my paperclip, which I ate for dinner. So I have a piece of string, I have my oil can, maple syrup, and my screwdriver. Mind you, I probably only have the screwdriver in my pocket, but I have to hold the oil can. But I am just holding it like it seems like a normal thing to do. Clearly not.
It's shaped like a maple leaf, and you remember from your internet searches that maple leafs are definitely considered Canadian. So you just kind of hope that would sell it a little bit better that you're holding something that looks Canadian.
Not only does it smell good to me, it has a maple leaf, and it just more secures my ability to keep my identity as a Canadian.
Perfect. It says organic maple syrup.
I love it.
I will be holding this oil maple leaf can in my hand, kind of fast walking, if you will.
Okay.
And then the screwdriver, it's clearly in my pocket, by the way. If you look at my clothing on my person, it looks like a mannequin, like very, not very conforming, and very tightly fit clothes. So I was going to mention earlier, when Chris grabbed me to pull me by my shirt, you could feel like you were yanking it off of a mannequin. That's what it felt like.
All right, beautiful. Now, you are not at all trying to be covert in that, right? He's just trying to be a helpful Canadian. You're just...
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just seeing what's going on.
Okay.
I'm not trying to...
Perfect.
I'm not hiding anything. Also, I will say, when I say I'm stealing from Chris or from I'm just taking things. I'm not necessarily...
You're gathering resources.
There's no, evil
There's
intent.
No, there's no moral... There's
no malice. He's just literally,
No. I found a screwdriver. It just happened to be in Chris's bag. And I found this Canadian oil, and it just happened to be in my bag.
All right, so you make it to the Tiny Apple Grove the moment that Rudy is bending over to pick up the slingshot. And we're going to go ahead and really quick cut over to Maya. So, Maya, you have made your way inside of the mess hall.
completely skips over me and Bart.
We're going to come back to that. We will. Trust me, I haven't forgotten everybody.
It's like one of those cartoons where it's like everybody's doing something separate, so it's just randomly popping between everybody's perspectives.
Cut to that fucking 24 thing that they did whenever they'd cut between characters. So you got the little picture of Venom being crept upon by by Todd, and then it cuts to a small picture of you that just jumps up and gets a little bit bigger and takes over the screen. So you make your way inside, and you notice that there is a light on in the kitchen, and the door is just ever so slightly ajar. And you hear some banging noises going on in there, and you smell some delicious food. Potentially even some more straw bowl spaghetti. You don't know, but you can only find out one way.
The best thing for a Maya.
Need me them snacks. I wanna but I don't want, because I get the feeling that Smiles McGee, camp counselor, doesn't want us having second breakfast dinners. So I'm just gonna very lightly make my way towards the banging zone to see what's being made.
Okay.
And if it's something that I maybe want to try to snack on now or come back for later.
Go ahead and give me a d6 then.
Let's see, which one? We'll do this one with the sparkly pink one. Oh, dear lord.
How bad?
It's a 6.
The fuck?
Listen, food is very important to me.
You know, we did give Maya snack sense. So I guess go ahead and add quiet as another one.
Sneaky.
So you sneakily open the
Sneaky.
door, and you see her be turning into a hobbit there for second breakfast.
Second breakfast dinner. Not even just
Oh.
second breakfast.
So you crack open the door a little bit further, making sure to be nice and quiet. So if it is Counselor Derp, you are not caught. And you see Lunch Lady Linda just banging away at the kitchen. She is working on a giant set of some delicious looking French toast for everyone to have tomorrow morning.
Instant drool.
And she has not noticed
Even
you.
Todd likes French.
She has not
Canadian
noticed
French
you.
toast. Canadian French.
Exactly.
Obviously. With
Exactly.
Canadian maple syrup oil on it.
She has not noticed you. You have been extremely covert, and the kitchen is just kind of your oyster. You can try and sneak up and steal stuff for yourself. You can try to see what she's doing. You could, whatever you want to do next.
Oh, I'm absolutely trying to sneaky grab some. You've got like little bit of drool already going. There's no thoughts. There is just like I
Snack.
made a French toast.
All right,
Like, need me some snack.
go ahead and give me another d6 to see if you can successfully steal some French toast.
You'll
get a +1.
Clear one. All right, so roll to 3.
Okay, so obviously you were not successful, or is that with your +1?
That is the base dice. So that should
Okay.
be what, a 4?
So you do get a
Yes.
success because you do have your +1 from Snack Sense. So you very carefully do manage to sneak a whole plate of French toast away from this woman. But you can't help but notice that there is no syrup.
Tragic.
Oh,
That is tragic.
You can tell from your Snack Sense that she's actually currently working on making some syrup from scratch. She's very early into the process, so it's probably going to be at least another 45 minutes before it's even done, let alone cool enough to be able to actually be consumed.
Poor Maya.
Oh my god, it's the Canadian.
Even my Libby heart breaks a little bit. How do you have French toast without some syrup?
You just can't. You can't.
That's probably a small short circuit for her. She's holding on to this plate really happy and then just does not know what to do because all the stuff isn't here.
Now, I know that Maya is oblivious, but do you want to try and roll and see if she will remember that she had a... Obviously not remember what it was filled with, but do you want to try and roll and see if she remembers that she had a maple syrup container in her bag?
Absolutely. We're going to roll the tiny little metal die for this one. Oh, I dropped it in my chair. Where did it go?
Oh no.
Where it
Poor
went?
Maya.
She's
I
just doing her
know, that's
best.
so long.
Can
Maya
I
really is
consider a
Gizmo.
lost tiny die as a 1? I don't know where it went. Oh,
That is the true crit failure.
it's like legitimately gone. Like I cannot find it. I'm gonna have to stand up to look for it.
Damn. You know, I think we can consider that a 1 if you really want to.
I'm
So...
cool with that being a critical failure.
So what happens is you try to remember because you're like, wait a minute, I swear I've seen a bottle of maple syrup somewhere. And at this point, that bubble of drool that you had rolling, it starts building up as you're thinking more and more about the syrup, and it drops and it sounds like a glass shattering as it hits the ground. And Lunch Lady Linda turns around and goes, "Who the hell are you? Oh, what are you doing with the French toast?" And she has a whisk in hand that is currently covered in molten hot syrup in the making.
Well, one typically eats French toast, but I have one critique. You made the food's really yummy, but there's no syrup, and that's a problem.
And she looks at you, and her eyes go completely black. And she screams at you, "That's because I'm making it!" And she comes diving at you with the currently covered in molten hot syrup. Go ahead and give me a d6.
Beautiful. All right, let's see. We're gonna go with the marbly red one.
Okay.
And the first murder is over French.
Yo, did I call it that Maya would die first?
You know, I'm sure that's what you wish would happen, but let's see. The really dumb ones have plot armor with
That is fair.
6.
I was gonna say,
What
oh
the
my god! Alright, go ahead and throw agile, I guess. As now an aspect.
High
So-
ass reach.
Okay,
And
but
then
wait a second.
trips like over her own feet
Does
with
sh-
like the French toast still safe.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you still holding onto this plate of French toast?
Oh, absolutely. She has like forgotten she's holding it, but like she's got like a death grip on it. It's somehow more stable than she is. Like,
So you bump into the table as you were trying to run away, and Lunch Lady Linda, who has obviously the whisk with syrup in one hand, and she has the pot in the other, as at this point she is just ready to do whatever she has to do. Unfortunately, you managed to knock a plate of maple syrup off of the table. Or not of maple syrup, of French toast off the table, and it lands directly on the floor in front of her path as she is about to step. She slips, and the
all
molten
banana peel
hot,
style.
yep, straight up fucking whoop, ass over tea kettle. The whisk goes in one eye, and the maple syrup pan directly over her face, and you hear the most visceral scream you have ever heard.
Maya, you
As
just killed
this,
her!
what you thought was old woman,
what is that?
her face starts. Are you looking around to see after she screams, or are you just fucking running?
Oh, I'm looking around.
Okay, so you hear her scream, and you hear this just weird squishing noise as the whisk. I'm sorry, we're gonna get really visceral here for a second, you guys. As the whisk goes
Trigger
directly
warning.
into her eye, and her face all but like contorts around it as if you were pushing your thumb in on an overripe piece of fruit. And then the maple syrup falls over her head, and her skin starts to crisp up and loosen, it looks like, from her face, before she then just dissolves. Her entire being dissolves into a puddle of black ichor.
Sean, do you need to talk?
I'd like to remind everybody I live with him. So if anybody should be concerned about anybody, it should probably be me if he's coming up with this.
Okay, I'm not the one who decided they were going to try and steal some French toast from an eldritch god, okay?
I'm gonna just have Maya like fix, because she definitely like half face planted when she was trying to dive out of the way. But she's gonna like fix herself, get back up, still holding on to this plate of French toast, kind of step over, looks down, and she's like, "So is that a no on the maple syrup?"
Maya.
Turns out Maya was the monster
All along. The end.
And we're going to go ahead and jump cut back to Bart and Chris. So you two have just met up in the central area accidentally, where the giant Tappy statue is completely missing.
Okay, at this point I have finished my joint, so my eyes are like fucking bloodshot. But I'm gonna look at this missing statue, and I'm gonna press the plus sign on my Mavis hat, and its eyes are gonna light up.
So here's how it works. So you press the left wing to turn it on, the right wing to turn it off. The plus sign is how you essentially get, like, your brights, like you're driving in a car.
Okay, so I'm gonna press on his little wing. And I'm gonna, like, look at the ground and see, like, can I notice the footprints where Meepus, or where Tappy used to be standing?
We can have you do a roll for that.
Okay.
Also, as that high beam flashes on Joshua, go ahead and give me a d6 with your see something modifier.
And I'm adding
Or,
my
like, see things
observant
that-
modifier.
Okay, perfect.
Can I also add my monsters or no?
Nah, we only get 1 + 1.
Ding it.
6, my guy. I rolled
Okay.
a 5 plus Uno.
Beautiful. Okay.
I got a crit failure, so I did not notice any footprints that are there.
So
God.
here's how this is going to work.
Oh no.
So you turn the high beams on and you don't notice anything at all. You don't see anything on the ground in the moment that you have to look down before and in this moment, which Joshua, I will give you a chance to save if you decide you want to. In this moment, Joshua, as that light flicks on, you see the giant brass being standing directly to the right of Chris. You see the giant Tappy statue there as it is reaching its essentially gloved-looking hand to come over and smash her into the ground.
Why are you trying to kill me?
I didn't roll a 1, I'm sorry!
How confident do I feel in rolling something hilarious?
Very.
I decide to scream like a little schoolgirl.
Wait,
And
I'm sorry, I
tap
missed that.
I tap around on my watch, and we don't know if I'm trying to save her or not. I'm just gonna roll and let you decide how, based off the roll,
Okay.
if it's good or bad.
Alright. Considering how vague you left the watch, this could go very fun.
So I rolled another 6.
Okay. Alright, now I
this
gotta
a
decide
nat
how
6?
much power I want to give you with this one. So, what you do is, as you see this giant brass tappy appear next to you, you notice, considering you have, go ahead and, the first thing that we'll add for you is, we'll call it weird sense. So you, not only do you see weird things, but you just have this innate ability to notice things that are fucking weird happening. So you notice that one of its eyes is closed. It almost looks like it's winking, but it's just simply stuck that way. So you, in a panic after screaming like a little terrified schoolgirl, you just frantically press on your watch, and a laser pointer, which will be the other one that we will give you, is you now have a laser pointer. But you tap, and it hits a laser pointer. And it just so happens to be aimed perfectly at the one open eye of Tappy. And it, as it's raising its hand up to try and make an attack on Chris, it lets out this guttural scream as its eye is blinded, and it reaches down to try and cover its eye. And I will give you guys a chance to do whatever you want to do.
I'm running toward the cherry grove.
Okay. Alright, so she's going to run towards the cherry grove. Bart, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna casually walk away.
Which direction? Are you going to go just be like, nah, fuck this, I'm going to go chill?
Just a sec. Let me roll a d4, and I'll give you
Pick a direction, pick a card.
All right, let's go.
north. I go north.
Okay, so Joshua, Bart starts making his way towards the lake.
I love how he goes the exact opposite direction of me.
I know, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and cut back over to Maya, since we're actually starting to get people like closer to getting together. Maya, you hear a guttural scream as you come walking out the door after.
I love that Maya just keeps hearing people screaming.
I know. Maya just witnessed a murder, kind of. Accidental death, I
Maya's had a
guess.
scream of her own. Someone's now dead, but there's no
There's no body.
a whole plate of French toast and no syrup, and it's a really bad night.
Wait, can I just...
The one thing you remember, the last thing you smelled before you heard the most horrifying death rattle you have ever heard, is you slightly smelled the scent of cherry maple syrup.
Can I just really quickly
Yes.
roll my observant? Because I did run toward the cherry grove, but can I roll my observant to see if my character had seen the other two going toward the cherry grove before?
No, because they would have been...
I think timing wise, that doesn't line
Yeah,
up.
timing-wise, it doesn't quite line up. So you guys met up there probably as Rudy was getting to the cabin.
Okay.
So they will get there probably like 2 minutes after you make your way over there. So you probably... Would you have made your way inside, or would you have just been like waiting out somewhere nearby that?
When I get to the cherry grove, I would have climbed a tree.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you were up in a tree, just to set the scene for that. So you're up in a tree. Rudy is sitting right at the entrance to the Cherry Grove Maze, and Todd is right behind Rudy, about to come up.
Do I see them walking up?
Yeah, so in that whole time you saw them both come walking up and you were hiding up in the tree.
Okay.
So we'll jump back over to Maya. So Maya, what are you doing? All you know is you just heard a terrifying scream that came directly to your west. What were you going to ask?
Okay, so I was about to say, was I able to hear the scream? So you
Yes.
answered that already.
Yeah, no, you could hear that from every inch of this forest. The only place that couldn't hear it that had people nearby would be the camp next door, because that shield of rain essentially works as a perfect
Sound barrier
for sound.
We're gonna go investigate the scream, because Smiles McGee is a liar and there has to be ghosts. That sounded like a ghost.
Okay, so Maya is going
But
to
I
make
want you
her
to
way-
know she has not let go of this plate of French. Like she just, until she thinks about this French toast, she's just holding this plate both hands.
I just imagine
First
Maya
French
holding
toast.
it like this.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so go
This is
ahead
the most
and
interesting Daphne I've ever seen.
it's Daphne and Shaggy all in one.
I knew I
So
should have gone with the tall sandwich for dinner.
Maya makes her way to the central hub, essentially, that is that giant, formerly in the middle Tappy statue.
Is Maya gonna notice Tappy's gone?
I was gonna say, Maya, as you enter that clearing, give me a D6. Let's see what you see. Watch you get another fucking 6.
I was gonna say, JD found the tiny metal die that I lost. So let's roll that again.
All right, let's go.
I have some bad news for you.
Is it a 6?
It's a 6.
God
God damn it!
I
Wibbles!
thought I heard it land on 6. That's
That sounded like a pretty 6 roll, if I'm being honest.
And the thing is, like, I know Wibbles wouldn't lie about
yeah, no,
this, and
absolutely.
also, like, she just is that lucky
So
that when she
you-
wants her character to fail.
You hit the clearing, Maya's the most competent idiot I've ever
fair.
seen.
To be fair, Cabin in the Woods proved that the either the stoner or the derpy one usually fucking survives.
Exactly.
I built this character to have the most disadvantage possible.
And yet you
Courage
fucking
is
crushed
dumb as
every...
fuck. Can't see shit. Rolls all 6s.
So you come into the clearing, and you, surprisingly in this moment, you actually remember, oh, nope, you don't get to go towards that, buddy. That is chocolate.
I grabbed a little, like, chocolate cookies, and Gizmo was sitting in Sean's lap, and he was trying to sniff toward it.
He's like, nope, we're not
He
doing
also
that,
has
buddy.
snack sense. He has the best snack sense.
You immediately notice that, first of all, there isn't any syrup here. Second of all, there happens to be the giant statue that is in a completely different spot and is turning around and facing directly towards you now. Weirdly enough, you see it eyeball the plate of French toast.
Damn, turns out the villain fucking is confused why you got toast and no French also.
Maya gonna be like, do you have any syrup?
Just hold out the plate. Do you want one?
There's more in the kitchen.
Why did it have to be a 6? So do you offer some French toast to this giant brass monster?
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna say anything, but she is gonna hold the plate out like, would you like one? You want one?
And
Yeah, you can have one.
this giant Tappy statue comes walking up, and you can see its tiny little mouth It's the string between the two cherries. And it opens up in what looks like a swirling vortex of darkness. There are no teeth. There is nothing to it, but it just opens its mouth, and you see it give a little thumbs up.
Is Maya
Again,
gonna?
you need to talk, Sean?
This is the most terrifying concept for a mouth ever.
Is
I think
Maya
I would
about to
put the
like
teeth-
hand feed Tappy a piece of French toast?
So,
Sean's story sounds like if Junji Ito wrote the Terrifier. This is fucking crazy.
what did you expect,
And
Joshua?
wait, but the funniest thing is that because we took so long with everything else, he's making all of this up as we
None
go.
of this was planned. I was gonna have you guys either team up or go as a group, or like go as a group, or individually go off to go help these kids do these little activities. And you were gonna randomly hear some weird shit. Joshua, you were gonna maybe see some vines in the background. And you were gonna hear some cult chanting at the end of the day. It was gonna be you guys and the kids were all getting sacrificed to a giant eldritch being. But no, this is where we're at instead.
You picked the wrong cast of silly motherfuckers to try to put a coordinated effort together.
I don't know why he tries.
You're not wrong.
You should have known better.
But also, is that a kitty?
Aw, it's a legitimate strategy
It's a
that way to a
mochi.
monster's heart is the syrupless French toast.
No, but in
Oh.
reality, Tappy's gonna be pissed because there's no syrup.
But yeah, Maya, so first of all, did you decide what you were going to get for an extra, I can't remember, what are they called again?
Oh yeah,
Perk?
she got a 6.
What you getting for an extra tag for this success? Because there's nothing obvious on this. Like,
Oh.
do you want it to be just like vague friendship?
I'm torn. Because friendship would be hilarious, but also food-related memory. Because this is a statue shaped like food,
Fair.
which breaks through the airhead a little bit. Because snacks are oh so important. You can remember just about anything if there was food involved.
Be careful,
And
Canadian.
so
He's coming
now
for dead
I'm
syrup.
Torn.
Fair. Like you could go for like. I mean, it doesn't really do anything different. You could go for food awareness. You could also call it like danger sense, where you can tell
like
that
snack sense, but danger.
exactly. Like once this thing opens its mouth, you can tell that there is something absolutely wrong here. You know, outside of the fact that it's a giant moving statue.
I would just like to point out, if you did go for danger sense, that would be so helpful with a bunch of other shit we got going on.
Like at this moment, you have a bunch of you heading towards the corn maze, and you have a group or like a singular person headed towards a creepy lake.
I'm thinking more so with the fact that eventually she's gonna come across Todd with his maple syrup and she's gonna try and eat it. And danger sense would help her to detect that it's not actually maple
That
syrup.
would be fun.
But wouldn't snack sense also help with that because she would be able to identify not snack from snack?
That is
Yeah.
fair.
That is fair.
I like it. Are you going snack sense?
She already has
Well,
snack
we already
sense.
have a
Oh yeah,
snack
that's right.
sense.
Okay, yeah.
So friendship or cultist. Cult follower. Cult of the cherry.
You know what? Cult of the Cherry. That's hilarious. I have fed a giant cherry. They're now my favorite snack at camp.
So cult of the syrup. All right. So, you know
Cult
what?
of the tappy.
I was gonna say call it cult of the tappy. So you, as this thing opens its black hole vortex of a maw, you grab one of the two pieces of powdered sugar covered unsyruped French toast, and you just kind of frisbee toss it into its mouth.
Just like, whoop.
And the mouth, it almost looks like it's gonna miss, but then it just gets sucked in, and you see it
Later,
turn
bitches.
into
Yeet.
Venom beautiful. You see it turn into, essentially you see it crushed into every single atom that is composed of it. You see it all explode into stardust and return to that black void that was swirling in its mouth as its mouth closed. And then it just kind of gives you a little wave with its hand.
He's so cute. I would die for this.
In my
I would die
defense,
for this bronze statue.
I'm a moron.
Same.
Maya.
You know what? Will the statue let me climb on top and just hang out?
I will say.
Just
Roll call to the
lounge
tappy.
I will say that as a part of your successful 6 roll on this, after he waves, you would like, do you directly ask him? Do you just like point on top of his head and point to yourself? Like how do you try and communicate to Tappy?
I've always wanted to go to an amusement park.
Mhm.
Can I ride on top of your head?
And it's a little bit hard to tell because of how he looks. Like he has that right arm that essentially looks like a T-kill that is permanently stuck to his side, and he has his one other free hand. But you can see he kind of gives you a little, it almost looks like a nod, but he has to do a full body nod because he doesn't have a
Full body
yeah.
mascot nod.
And he's let's see here. He's probably about 6 feet tall. So he's, as you come walking up to him, he's going to reach out his little gloved hand and he's going to help boost you up on top of his head. Where are you going to tape Tappy next? So at this point, you have not seen where anyone else has run. Obviously, Tappy does know where one of your group, the vague direction where where 2 of your group was heading. So do you want to consult Tappy? Do you want to just tell him to go in a direction? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna let Tappy just do what Tappy want to do.
Okay.
I'm here for the experience.
So Tappy is going to tap on the French toast plate and kind of shake his hand like, eh, and then he's going to point towards the cherry grove. And he's going to start just kind of slowly ambling his way over there because he's a little bit rusty.
And somehow Maya is still the villain.
I mean, here's
smell that there are cherries in that direction.
You
'Cause
absolutely
my snack
can.
sense that strong.
Your snack sense
So
can
I'm
tell that
just-
he's taking you towards some good shit right now. We got
just
some straight Rainier
excited.
cherries. I know we're not in Washington, but this is the perfect climate for growing some Rainier cherries. It's going to be delicious.
Okay, but like, can I just say that while all this shit has been happening and I'm watching these 2 coming toward me, I've just been picking cherries in the tree.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And so you see Tappy, the thing that was just apparently potentially going to kill you. You don't know. It was right behind you. It was going to do something that Bart stopped it from doing. You see it come walking up and a figure sitting on top of it. We're going to cut back over to Bart. Bart, you have just made it to the lake.
Oh, cool.
It's a peaceful night. There's, outside of, the faint visceral scream of some elder god dying, there's not really much happening. You'd think it's a clear sky, but that's just because there's a sheet of gray from the clouds still overhead. You can't see the moon or anything. And there's a single spotlight that is right at the end of the pier. The one singular pier that essentially just works as a diving board for this little lake. And you see a shadow standing over there.
Oh, I'm totally walking towards the shadow.
Of course you are.
All right, are you gonna try and do it quietly? Are you gonna call attention to yourself, or what you gonna do?
I'm just gonna walk up to it while I light a blunt.
Okay.
How many
'Cause I'm
blunts and
old.
joints do you just have on your person right now, bro?
Yeah,
So-
every Bart is just loaded with fucking marijuana.
Every Bart is made of weed.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a d6 then.
Oh, damn! You gotta make me roll.
I am.
That's crazy.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
So you flick the lighter, and because of how sheer silent the lake is, it just like that scene earlier with Maya, where through the sound of banging pans, the sound of her drool bubble hitting the ground sounded like shattered glass. The sound of you flicking that lighter all but sounds like a bomb going off around everyone. And you see the shadow immediately turn around and go, "Oh, hey, Bart, how you doing?" what brings you up here tonight? I thought you were going to bed. Weren't you guys just gonna go relax?
I mean, I am relaxing.
You know, I can't doubt you on that. What brings you to the lake though?
I like water. What are you doing here?
I mean, I run the camp. I'm making sure that everything's still fine for tomorrow. We still got the kids coming, as far as I know.
What do you have to check with the lake at night? That's sus, my guy.
And he, for the first time, this entire time you've been at the camp, you see his facade drop. And he stares you down with a steely gaze, and he goes, I guess it's about time to drop this then. And the next thing you know, he is directly in your face. Without even blinking an eye, he just snaps right there in front of you. And he stares at you, and he goes, what exactly were you hoping to gain coming to this camp?
That's a very direct question. Why are you putting me on the spot, my guy?
Wibbles.
I'm trying to find out whether or not the reports were true about this camp.
And he stares down at the ground for a moment, and he goes, is that so? I thought you were the one who was sent by your parole officer, and he grabs you by the throat. And he starts walking towards the center of the camp. And we're going to go ahead and cut back over to everyone meeting up at the cherry field.
Well, I have, like, my shirt kind of, like, rolled up like this, filled with cherries, and I hop down when I see,
Tappy.
No, not Tappy.
Oh.
When I saw Rudy and Todd coming up.
Okay. Perfect.
So I'm with them now.
So...
And also, can I roll to see if I notice, because my hat is still lit up. Can I roll to see if I notice this motherfucker holding my fucking screwdriver?
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. We'll have you guys do...
There is no motherfucker. There's me, Todd.
I have never had sex with a mother. That does not make sense.
I was gonna say, you had mentioned earlier that I was bending over, finding that stick to use for the slingshot, and Todd comes from behind, and I was gonna say, what are you doing, Step Todd?
Oh, all right. So we're gonna have some things that'll happen in pretty quick succession. So first of all, Rudy, go ahead and give me a d6. We're gonna have you see if you notice either one of them.
I got a
hopped down
4.
pretty quickly.
You got a 4. Okay. So you immediately hear the sound of Chris jumping down from a tree. So you turn to your left and you see Chris land on the ground. And in that same moment, as you turn your head around, you notice Todd, like, right behind you, right up in your business.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ, Todd, what are you doing?
I was seeing what you were up to. I saw you running towards the field.
I was walking quite casually, thank you very much.
Well, my definition of running might be different than your definition of running.
Do Canadians run different than the rest of us?
Well, we do use kilometers versus your miles per hour.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm making a slingshot.
And
What was the
I
purpose of
have some
slingshot?
ammo, and I'm going to pull out a cherry.
All right.
Oh, and you know what I got? I'm gonna whip out my moonshine. Man, we dip those cherries in there. The vapors alone will set them on fire.
Fuck yeah. And I'm just going to start dropping cherries into the moonshine. Like, empty my shirt into your jar of moonshine.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, can I roll for my screwdriver?
Yeah,
I want it
While this is
back.
happening, we'll have you roll to see if you notice the screwdriver.
I got a 3 + 1 observant. I see my screwdriver.
So
What?
you know
DM said, roll change!
you you notice that there is something very familiar in Todd's pocket.
Okay. So
You notice, considering you were the one who you grabbed him earlier to pull him along, you noticed that his clothes, they don't seem to fit normally. So you can't help but notice that where his pocket kind of hangs off the side of him, there is the shape of something that seems very...
Are you sure
I'm-
he's not just happy to see you?
I was going to say, I'm trying to figure out a way to put this that's not like, yeah, no, he might have an erection.
it'll be like off to
It's
the
to his
side.
side.
Screwdriver,
Although,
'cause
wait.
that's a weird looking dick.
Wait, okay.
Like,
Todd, is the screwdriver in your front pocket or your back pocket?
It'd probably be front pocket if it
I
was.
was going to say, I thought it was this like
he
one of your
said it's
front
in
side
the
pockets.
center pocket.
Did you
I take
put
that
it?
back.
Did you put it so that the metal tip is pointing up or pointing down into the pocket?
It's Canadian, you can't be sure they're different.
Good question. I probably dropped it in point down.
Okay.
Sure.
So
I'm
you...
thinking about it. It
you-
might have even pierced my.
That's what I was wondering if it pierced the
I was
pocket.
going to say, and you can't help but notice that there's also a slight tear just a little bit higher up
Okay.
from where it is in his pocket.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at Todd and I'm gonna be like,
Because here's the thing, you don't know that he stole your screwdriver.
yeah, no.
So,
I'm gonna,
like,
but I
you
know what
definitely
he
know that
had
there's
on
something
him.
there.
So I'm over here, like I just saw a potential eldritch beast attack me. I'm looking for any resources we got, and this motherfucker only came with a piece of string and a paperclip that
So
he
it's
ate.
definitely obvious
But
that he...
keep in mind, you see me. I'm holding that.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
now he has some random fucking maple syrup. So I'm be like,
Yeah,
hey Todd,
Exactly.
I see you collected some new. What's in your pocket there?
Oh, it would be my string and this screwdriver that I found.
Where the fuck did you get a screwdriver?
It was in a bag inside our cabin.
I'm just gonna snatch it. I'd be like, I need this. You're a fucking robot, so I'm not gonna be mad at you for stealing it from me, but I'm a little mad at you for stealing it from me. And I'm gonna turn to Rudy, because Todd doesn't understand anything that's happening. I'm gonna be like, look,
Stranger.
you know that giant frickin' statue of the cherries?
Wait. Did you just say Todd's a robot? Because
And
I was in the bathroom during that
Oh.
whole interaction
Yes!
between you and Bart, so
That's
I didn't
right.
know.
Well, I didn't actually say that
I
he's a
am not
robot
robot.
out
I am
loud. I don't think. But yeah.
Oh,
so,
Because my character and Bart's character both know he's a robot.
as you mention the statue of Tappy, you can't help but notice, all three of you, some very loud stomping sounds. Coming,
what the hell's that?
obviously getting louder in your direction.
So I'm gonna be like, we need to run. Rudy, how's your aim?
It's fantastic.
Okay, Rudy, I'm gonna need you to aim at the fucking statue's eye. Book it.
So, we have to roll to see if you can assemble the slingshot, because that is something we have not done yet.
And we're doing it under pressure.
That's now on the floor. That's a floor dice now. Once again,
Watch, that one was the 6.
I got a 5.
Okay. All right. So,
And you're handy. Is that with your modifier?
I don't have any modifiers.
Oh, I thought you were handy.
No, I didn't. I rolled a 4 on that or something. I didn't roll a 6, so
okay. So, you managed to very quickly put together a, although jank, functional slingshot, just as you see Tappy, the giant tiny apple statue, come clomping its way up the path with a shadow sitting on its back. Because again, it is pitch black out right now. You can
But my hat
barely
is lit
see.
up.
It's still far enough back that
Oh.
you can see it, but the shadow, aka Maya, is sitting high enough considering the height of the creature that all you can see is just the silhouette of someone in the light.
Okay. So I'm like, fuck, it has an ally now.
And if at any point you want to jump in, Maya, go right ahead.
I'm gonna aim my slingshot.
All right.
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
shine my hat light directly
I don't-
toward it so that he can try to aim for the eye a little better.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially with the hat light, I don't think Maya would be able to see.
That's fair.
fair.
She wouldn't really see anything other than the light. Okay. All right, go ahead and give me
She's
a
just minding her
d6.
own business. This is a carnival ride for her.
It's a 5.
Okay, perfect. So you guys don't have anything to light it on fire, do you? Because
No,
Maya was
they'll
the one
just-
with the lighter.
I gave Maya back her
Right.
lighter.
So
Yeah.
you shoot one of your
Moonshine soaked.
booze-infused cherries at the visage of Tappy. And you notice that it opens its mouth, and you see that same swirling abyss that the cherry gets sucked into, and it explodes into this cosmic color, and then back to pitch black, and then it
We're
closes
super
up.
fucked. He's a cannibal.
Oh God.
And you definitely notice that the steps are a little bit different now. He's walking a little bit slower, and his steps almost seem like they're a little bit stumbled.
He's drunk.
Rudy, keep going.
I will fire another one.
All right.
Just got Maya sitting up there like,
I got a
"That
3.
smells like snacks."
Okay, so now if you would like, I can do some describing, but this is one of those situations where you would be able to describe what happens with you missing on this. I have an
Okay.
idea,
I
but
know-
if you want to take the lead, go for it.
I know it's gonna hit Maya.
Yep,
It's-
that's what I was thinking too. So Maya, do you want to give me a d6 if you actually notice if you get hit?
Sure.
Because we've
let's
established
do
that
this
Maya has that condition that is so very rare where you just don't feel pain.
Which is so dangerous, you guys.
I rolled a 5 on the die.
Okay,
Don't know if we add anything for the fact that
I'm gonna be
the
honest.
ammo is made of snack.
I think snack
or anything
sense.
else.
Yep.
So
Can I eat?
You just catch
The
it in your
ammo.
mouth. You just.
Well, are you
And
going
I
to
eat
spit out the
ammo.
pit?
I think, yep, exactly. Yep, she can sense it and she eats it. So it goes directly into your mouth. And
Really?
I have an idea. If you want to take something different, you are more than welcome to. But how do you like the idea of high tolerance for Maya? AKA, she can
Ooh.
handle her booze.
Yes.
So you take it and you taste that moonshine on it. You definitely can. But Maya's had her fair share of wine coolers. So
Not the wine coolers.
I think wine coolers are a little different from moonshine, just a little
No,
bit.
see, but here's the thing with wine coolers and very tasty drinks is that the alcohol is light, but you don't taste any of it. So the amount that you end up drinking over time tends to be much, much more than a harder drink.
exactly. So you don't even notice that there's anything. Like you taste that. Obviously, you taste the booze, but you're like, oh weird. This almost tastes like a wine cooler, but a little bit stronger. Huh. Okay, who's shooting at me? And Tappy is continuing to stumble forward. And at this point, Tappy is just about close enough. It's about the time of one more slingshot shot away from being visible to you all.
Okay.
Are you aiming again?
Honestly,
Yes.
Russ. Honestly.
It really is, and they're so good.
I got a 5.
Okay, perfect. So you launch another booze-soaked cherry at Tappy, and the same thing happens. It opens its maw, and the cherry becomes atoms, explodes into color. The maw closes, and you notice it just fall flat on its face.
Dude, Tappy is our sloth.
Did
This is. Tappy is our sloth. Maya is Chunk. We are the fucking Goonies.
I was gonna say, I was not expecting it. But hey, it takes place in Oregon, so I mean...
I didn't know the Goonies took place in Oregon.
And in that moment, you see the shadow that was on top of Tappy come stumbling down with it. Maya, do you want to... I never say die. Do you want to roll and see if you, like, gracefully land or if you just shit just like Tappy?
I think that Maya should have to roll twice. One should be how she lands. One should be how the French toast lands.
You heard her.
Do it. All right.
I think that's perfect.
Let's see.
All right, first one's going to be for
Maya
you.
will be Zorlda. French toast will be the clear. What do we got? Well, Maya's a whole ass 2, but don't worry because she doesn't get hurt.
She doesn't feel
She
it.
doesn't bruise easy. Her French toast is a whole ass 4.
Alright, so go ahead and describe to me how Maya falls, and then I'll describe how she keeps the French toast from falling.
So she was holding on, very much distracted by the very delicious snack that seemingly popped up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden she's tilting forward, does not try to correct course at all. So she ends up kind of flipping forward, but she's got like the plate sort of out, so you see her just baseball sliding on her face forward with her arms up and the plate on top of her palms in front of everybody else.
It's a good
With face
thing
in the
you
dirt.
fed that one piece of French toast to Tappy earlier, because the bottom piece was actually perfectly placed in the middle, and the other was sitting just a little bit off center on the side. So if you had that second piece of French toast, you could definitely tell that as you were sliding, the first thing that pops in your head is, I would have lost this if I didn't give the French toast to the giant statue. And it just stays perfectly balanced in your hand as you come sliding down, eating dirt along the way.
But at least she has French toast to chase it with.
Exactly.
And we have moonshine.
Just like face out. Does anybody have any syrup?
Now, I have another question. I think we're going to need Maya to roll once again. Maya, do you notice the maple leaf shaped bottle with a slightly brown, semi-translucent liquid in it that is in Todd's hand currently?
Let us find out. Where's one of my other little tiny ones? There it is. Let's see. That's gonna be a 5.
Okay, so as soon as your head pops up, after you ask if anyone has any syrup, you notice that Todd has a bottle that looks really similar to maple syrup.
Oh my god. Snack sense time.
Snack
Yeah,
sense
I was about
indeed.
to say I've got snack sense, and the snack sense didn't go off at the time. So, what would we have considered that? Hey, looks kind of like something I had, and not notice it's hers, or do we think she's going to try to mistake it and needs to check for snack?
I'm thinking more mistake it and check for snack. I'm thinking like
Alright.
Maya is very familiar with what different, like she got 7 different brands that she's got them memorized what their bottles look like, including a very niche small batch Canadian maple syrup that happens to be a very ornate bottle that you recognize in his hand.
The fact that she just brought maple syrup oil.
the clear die I just rolled is a 6.
Barely aged 20 years. Oh shit.
What
God
the
damn
fuck?
it. So you, using your snack sense, even from here, even though the bottle is closed, the fact that it is not factory sealed, you can smell those vapors slipping out. And you know for a fact, because you recognize this brand so heavily, it has a picture of Ryan Reynolds giving a
Oh
thumbs up.
no.
You know this smell by heart because this happens to be your favorite maple syrup brand, and you can tell instantly that what is filled inside that bottle is not your maple syrup.
Does she announce it to the rest of us?
I'll leave that up to Maya.
She's gonna get very excited for a second, sniff the air, and then just get really pouty and be like, "There's no maple syrup."
And I'm gonna be like,
Like that's not maple syrup.
then what the fuck is it?
Oh, it's accelerant I packed.
So, if I may, I'm gonna ask Maya, may I borrow your lighter?
Sure. What are we
Okay.
gonna light with it?
All right. So I'm going to take her lighter. And may I take the bottle from Todd? Todd, may I have this bottle in your hand?
Sure, why not?
Thank
I
you.
want to be as human as you guys. I mean, I am human as you guys.
Perfect. Thank you, Todd. And I'm going to flick it open because Tappy's still on the ground face down, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to take it and I'm going to pour it all over Tappy. And I'm going to hand Maya back the lighter and say, would you like to do the honors?
Sorry, what was that?
I
Cut out on me.
I
So-
poured accelerant all over Tappy. He's still face down on the ground, and I'm going to ask if you would like to do the honors.
She's asking if you want to murder Tappy, who you just befriended with French toast.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but all right. Question now. Did you already
kill
flick
Sloth.
the flame open on the lighter?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna hold out the French toast plate to you with like this gleam in her eye.
I'll
And be
take...
like absolutely.
God damn.
So I'm going to carefully hold your French toast because I've seen how Maya is about food, and I don't want her to fuck this up.
All right, so here's how we're gonna do this, and God damn it, I hope you get a 6. I genuinely hope you get a 6 on this one.
It's pride die time.
Roll me a d6.
Oh, it's a 3.
Wait, does she have... Are any of your tags...
She's got nothing that'll be able to help on this one.
No!
Okay, so you have failed, and you have to decide how you failed. I know, this stranger.
Basically.
Finally, when Wibbles fails.
Pretty much.
Well, see, there's a reason that she's serving out her community service credits, because she wasn't a very good arsonist.
Yes.
So she walks up with this fire and just like with her hand, like just thrusts it forward, but like ends up tripping on her way towards it.
Is it like she trips in the groove of your elbow holding the plate, keeping it from falling?
Pretty much, yeah. Just whoop, and ends up again eating dirt. The flame on the lighter goes out with just like this little click, and it's a cute little unicorn lighter. So it's just smiling back at her, mocking her at this point, just watching it die. She tries to like flick it again and she can't get it to turn back on, so now she's like really sad about it. She's just like focused on trying to flick this light back on.
Beautiful. I think we should cut back over to Bart. Really quick.
Leaving us on a cliffhanger of Maya failing epically.
So, Bart, you are... As soon as he turns you to around, he did let go of you by your throat, but he has you hands tied behind your back and is walking you towards where the statue of Tappy should be. And he kind of lets out a disappointed sigh when he sees that the statue is not there, and he goes, "This was not exactly how this weekend was supposed to go. If you guys had just played your part, none of you would have been hurt. But here we are." And he kind of stands off, walks around, and stands to your right. And he stares at the empty spot on the ground, and he goes, "This thing would not have moved if you five had just simply behaved yourselves.
Oops.
But I guess that's not the case anymore. Did you ever look into why this place got shut down all those years ago?"
Certainly wasn't because of sex trafficking or anything, because that choke was weak as fuck.
What?
And he kind of slaps you with a backhand and goes, "Funny." And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a picture. And it is... You can see on the front, it's a really similar looking logo to the shirt that you guys are currently wearing. But instead of that 2024, it actually says 35 years. 1979. Is my math right on that? No.
How many
89.
years?
89. I'm an idiot. 5 years before I was born, because I'm fucking 30. It says 1989 instead of 2024. And you see that same bronze statue of Tabby, but it is much smaller. It's probably at most half as big. You can see, which the way you're able to so easily decipher that is you see an incredibly familiar looking face. You see Counselor Derp standing just off to the side of the statue in this picture, and he holds out in front of you and goes, all it takes is one summer every 35 years. Doesn't have to be anything complicated. Just a couple of sacrifices, and we leave the rest of you alone. But you couldn't just let it be, could ya? You and the rest of them just had to go and get your hands in everything.
Have you not seen Cabin in the Woods?
Do you wanna do anything? Do you wanna try and like slip your hands out of the simple rope knot that he has tied? Do you want to try and persuade anything? Do you want to do anything at all?
I'll try and slip out. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's
All
do
right.
that.
Give me a D6.
6, bitch. Let's go.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm
you-
Mr. Miracle in this piece.
Just add escape artist as a tag. Do it.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Are you trying to be more covert about it, or are you going to try and be obvious? What do you do after you break out of the little rope?
I start fiddling with my watch again.
Okay.
Yeah. And this time it's clearly with purpose and yeah, let's see if I succeed first. Fuck no, I rolled a 1. Never mind. I don't do shit.
6 to a 1. Damn.
Okay, so hey, Sean,
Yes.
I was going to have it do like a multiversal thing. Since it's a critical failure, you do you.
So you are attempting to fiddle around with your watch after slipping your hands out of the rope, and unfortunately what accidentally happens, because you can't fully see what you're doing, is you accidentally open Spotify and you start having a banger of a tune from Halo Vert start playing out of your watch. I'm sorry, it was there. I had to do it.
Shameless plug is shameless. We support our musicians in this community.
And you should go listen to Halo Vert. You hear Friday by Rebecca Black starts playing. No, so you have loud music that starts coming out of your watch, and the moment it starts, you hear almost the sound of like a whip cracking, and the music cuts, and you feel warm. You feel something starting to build a little bit of warmth on your back as your hand is pretty close to it, and with your left hand you notice that bisected perfectly where the watch was, your hand is completely cut off.
Ooh. Damn, somebody didn't appreciate the choking comment.
Yeah.
And you feel this stem-like structure wrapping around your arms. Do you make any noise when you realize that your hand has been cut off, or do you just stay silent?
I say,
and don't forget, we have already established that you do scream like a girl when you're scared. So is your character scared or not?
And also, I have a question: is the stump just like spurting blood like in movies?
It's not spurting blood like in movies. So it's not like it cauterized. It definitely did not cauterize it, but it is really bizarre because it seems like it is just simply pooling out. So, like when you scrape your knee, you know how there's just that like little droplets of blood that start to form, and it creates the whole...
Oozing.
Exactly. So it's almost like that. It's not like it's gushing. It does seem like any of the main arteries in your hand somehow were completely sealed off, but it is still definitely bleeding. And you scream out in pain.
Okay, yeah, no, it's totally like it's
Okay.
like one of those shitty '80s screams.
I love it.
And it wraps around your body. You start feeling this stem-like structure wrapping its way around you as you scream out in pain. And we're going to go ahead and cut back to the other 4.
Wait. In my scream, I go, "Harder, Daddy!"
Dude.
Ooh.
Problem.
I hate it so much.
So we cut back over to the other 4 camp counselors who are currently... 3 of them are standing over the giant statue of Tappy, who is currently face down, completely shit-faced. And Maya has just slipped and eaten shit while trying to light Tappy on fire.
Okay, may I use my sleight of hand modifier to try lighting Tappy on fire? Sick.
Go right ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna snatch up the lighter.
Oh, wait a minute.
What? Because Maya dropped it.
Did you...
Yeah, but you're also now holding my French toast, so...
You have no available hands. You need both hands on that French toast.
I'm only holding it. Well, I can set it down next to Maya.
If I remember it, Maya, did you say that after you ate shit, you hit the ground, you tried the lighter again and it did not work?
Yeah, I'm currently sitting there flicking at this lighter crying because it wouldn't give me the pretty flame back.
So unfortunately, it seems like the dirt got into the mechanism for the lighter, because it is just kind of a cheap, shitty lighter.
damn
And the
it,
lighter is not
Maya.
going to work. Tappy
How
just...
dare you? It is a magical unicorn lighter.
I'm sorry. Unicorn light starts just flying out of it, and a beautiful rainbow-colored flame begins.
Okay, so we have no way...
I
Todd...
mean, if anything, you'd be able to probably check it to see what's wrong, if that counts under,
Oh.
like, the gearhead stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay. I like that,
But
thank you.
I don't know if you would immediately be able to use it, that's all.
All right, can I try that?
Go ahead.
All
Let's see
right.
if you can fix it. So...
We got a +1. I do have my screwdriver, but Tappy is face down, so I can't stab him in the eye.
Fair.
And I have string.
And my axe.
I got a 5+1, y'all.
Okay, perfect. So you tinker around with it a little bit, and turns out it actually wasn't broken. It wasn't like there was dirt or anything in it. Maya was just not actually
Stupid.
getting a full flick to it. So you grab it, you fiddle with it a tiny bit, you click it, and the lighter just starts back up.
Meanwhile, I set Maya's French toast on the ground next to her because she failed me. I don't care.
Face up or face down?
Face up.
Okay.
I'm not a monster.
So how about this instead? So you exchange the lighter for the French toast,
Okay, there we go.
and the lighter is now
I'm just
functional again.
crying over a plate of French toast at this point. Tears running down my face.
Just Rudy brings you the moonshine cherries to use as syrup.
Oh.
Okay, so here's the thing, and it's not going to happen now. The reason I was hoping that you would get a 6 on the roll to light Tappy on fire is I was going to have it do, the explosion of Icar, but it was going to have some of it land on the French toast, and you were going to taste it and realize that it was the most delicious syrup you have ever tasted, and you can never have it again.
Oh.
Listen, I might not be the one to set it on fire. There's still a chance.
That's fair.
Okay, so now that we have a functional lighter again, can I use my sleight of hand modifier and try lighting Tappy on fire again? Unless anybody else has anything else they're gonna do.
Anybody else want to do anything, or are you guys just down with
I
it?
am crying over French toast.
A singular piece of probably cold French toast by now.
Honestly. All right,
Oh, yeah,
give us a
this
go.
This thing is just like so.
It's so
it's
sad.
probably not great at all anymore.
It's at best room temperature. It's a little bit soggy because it's a little bit more of a humid day out. The
It was
plate
also
never
one
hit
on
the dirt.
bottom of the
but-
plate as opposed to the one that was on top for a little bit.
So Tappy got the better piece.
It's only got a little bit of powdered sugar on it, and honestly, at this point, from eating shit twice, there's plenty of dirt kicked up on top of the French toast anyway.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Well,
give
if
us a
no one
go.
else has anything, let's see. I got a 3. That's with my modifier. I failed, you guys.
Oh.
So
How did I fail to light this on
This
fire?
cherry just does not want to see flames.
in his last moments,
She's
Tappy
not
hands
done
the plate
yet.
of delicious French toast with the best syrup and thumbs up like the Terminator. So you flick the lighter on.
Wait, do I say how I feel at a 3 or do you?
There, you do get to say it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
3 still falls under our
And don't
falls
forget-
under us.
At this point, we have not had the moment where you hear Bart scream.
okay, so I think what had happened was when I poured the accelerant all over Tappy, I failed to put it at the very tip where the leaf and like the top of the stem meets, and that's what I tried to light on fire.
Ah.
And it didn't light, and my thumb got a little burnt. And so I dropped the lighter in the dirt again.
Go ahead and add ouchie thumb as a tag. Not actually.
Well, I didn't get my extra tag from my because I got a 6 before,
Oh yeah, you did.
but we didn't give me a tag. It's
That's
okay.
fair. That's fair. So
Oops.
at this point, Tappy is starting to
Come to.
rouse a little bit, and he starts trying to push himself up. But again, his right arm is literally attached to him. It is unable to move. So he's trying to essentially like one arm push up himself up, but he's still drunk, so he just can't do anything. He just keeps like lifting up partially and then falling back into the dirt.
I have one more thing I want to try.
Okay.
If nobody else has anything else.
Todd is enjoying watching this.
Todd is
Is
just
this
chill.
what humans
Cry.
usually do at camp?
So
Oh no.
my new idea, as I'm watching him kind of like push himself up off the ground and fall back down, is I kind of want to see if I could try using my sleight of hand again, even though it failed last time, and stick my screwdriver up under his open eye the next time he pushes himself up. So he just falls on it.
It was a D6.
Is that giant bronze cherry doing push-ups?
I got a nat 6.
Yes. Also kind of sad, but
Why
yeah.
do you guys hate sloths so much? Like,
So this whole time, and it's so perfect that your character just immediately was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna light it on fire. Because this thing never hurt you. You gave it friend toast, befriended it, and it
this
hiked
thing
you
was
over to your friends. And you guys are just like, nah, fire, Frankenstein's monster, get the fuck out of here.
It tried
Die.
to kill me.
this
You
is
don't
like,
know
would
that.
you guys kill Bluto if you were in the labyrinth? This is super fucked up.
Honestly.
How do we know this thing is actually? This could be something that's trying to get us to help it, and the actual monster is the.
We don't know
You
that
have
yet.
no idea, but no, instead.
We don't
nah,
know.
It's
Listen,
ugly, so
really
kill
is-
it.
Okay.
That is rude and
Here's-
disrespectful, and I am disappointed in you guys.
In Chris's defense.
I am just a simple human, though. I do not understand. So.
In Chris's
In my
defense.
defense, Maya was not trying to hurt it. She was just given opportunity for fire.
In
The
Chris's
reason why
defense.
she was there.
I
You bought it over French toast.
watch too many horror films. My character does. I don't personally,
That's
but my
fair.
character watches too many horror films. Sees big bad monster with giant hand trying to murder, apparently, allegedly, what it looks like.
Here's the thing.
And must murder monster to survive. Like, that's my character's whole motivation in being here, is to live out a horror movie.
She's doing a success. They are doing a
The
successfully.
character clearly never saw Monsters Inc. or any of its subsequent movie film sequels.
Because here's the actual. I want to let's break this down timeline wise. So you and Bart meet up in the middle. There's a statue that you know was there, and it's not there. It's just kind of there next to you. Bart blinds it. You have no idea what it was going
Wait, but
to do.
before Bart blinded it, its hand lifted like it was going to smack me. You said that.
You didn't see it though, so you had
It was
no
trying
idea.
to give you a massage.
It literally just raised its hand in the air. I didn't know what it was gonna do at the time. I was like, oh yeah, no, Tappy's still the villain, so it's going to smash. But no, things have happened, things have changed, so now Tappy's not the villain anymore.
But I don't know any
So,
of this.
You didn't see anything. You just saw giant monster. It let out a guttural scream and get blinded, and then you ran away. And the next thing you know, it comes walking over with your friend on its back, and you just try to murder it immediately.
Your friend is on its back too. You're like, well,
Maya also hasn't told us anything about
That's
what
fair.
happened. So, like, Maya, what I saw is Tappy is carrying Maya. We don't know if she's safe. All we see is Shadow Maya. And then we knock Tappy down through the power of moonshine. Tappy comes crashing down, yeeting Maya off of his back. And then I ask Maya if she wants to light Tappy on fire. She says yes. And then she cries. She hasn't communicated anything that has happened. So in my character's head, all I know is giant, scary cherries that look like they're gonna kill us.
So what we're saying, it's the epitome of a bunch of 20-year-olds trying to get together and do something. And y'all,
Sounds about right.
Brad just asked, Bear said he's going to the store and asked if I needed anything. Like some
be
shaving
fair,
cream.
You could have asked if we wanted to set literally anything or anyone on fire, and Maya would have said yes.
The
That's
thing
fair.
is, we don't know each other well enough for me to know this fact
You
about
guys
you.
have known each other for a total of like 9 hours at this point.
At most.
What's really wild is the only actual child is the one in danger right now.
Literally just had his hand
Taking
cut
care
off.
of a minor.
So
Like, we are all a bunch of fucking idiots. We haven't talked to each other,
Yeah.
really.
okay,
But we're
so
lovable.
here's what happens.
Yep.
So Tappy is moving itself. It looks like it's almost gonna get itself up with this push up. You slide the screwdriver up underneath, and in this moment, you all hear the scream that you heard earlier, but much more panicked this time. And in that moment, as Tappy is almost up, falls, smashes directly down on it, lets out a very similarly but much more animalistic scream. As it then starts to writhe and flop around, like, you know, and for anyone who's played Sekiro,
He
you know
really wants to make me feel bad for this, you
you
guys.
know the scene where you have to hide in the tiny little hut and you then stab the giant white snake in the eye and it just starts flailing around wildly after you stabbed it? So it's like that, but it's a little... Exactly. It's like, it's kind of comically, but also kind of viscerally. You guys are close enough that are like, fuck, is someone actually going to get crushed by this thing? And then it just stops moving.
I just lost my weapon.
And it, in a very bizarre scene, its body starts to decompose at the drop of a hat. And it goes from a brassy color to a bright cherry red to a deep green, brown, and black as it withers into nothing.
Is my screwdriver still there?
It is not.
Oh, it absorbed my screwdriver.
Unfortunately, the screwdriver is very firmly stuck in one of the 2 cherry pits that is all that is left of Tappy.
How big are the cherry pits?
They're about the size of they're about like 2 human heads in size. They are not small.
Okay. Can I grab one of them?
Give me a dice roll.
Do I have any modifiers?
Don't worry, Caitlin will mind you how you killed a giant statue. I'm not the only murderer anymore. Let's go.
I got a 4,
be-
you guys. I
To be
did
fair,
6.
she always wants to kill everything.
That is very fair.
I'm
Alright.
a very violent person.
So, here's what I'm thinking. You're not able to remove the screwdriver from the pit, but it is just light enough that you can still carry it and wield it.
Okay.
So you essentially now have a very small handled cherry pit hammer.
Let's go.
And in this moment, but Sean is still the only one to throw a child under the bus.
Literally, though.
Fair. I just want you guys to know that you have taught the robot this. I know this whole time. This is what you were teaching. The next generation of AI is appropriate behavior.
Yeah.
Todd, do you
Skynet
have
is
any
your
response?
We actually
Skynet is 100% your fault.
we actually created the Terminator, you guys. Oops.
Todd, let's cut over to you for a moment. How you feeling?
I am feeling wonderful. We are enjoying various camp activities. Exactly.
I've corrupted the shit out of this robot, you guys.
So, Tappy is dead and gone. And the last thing that you heard before that happened was the scream of one of the people that you came here with. The scream of Bart.
I'm grabbing my little screwdriver handle cherry pit that's the size of a human head, and I'm gonna go toward the scream.
Okay.
Who's with me?
Rudy,
I'm
Maya,
gonna
Todd?
go right behind you, ready
Todd
to
is
shoot
going
my
to be
slingshot.
following behind.
All right, Maya.
It slowly gets up with her French toast to follow after. I am, however, going to roll one of the tiny red ones to see if she even remembers the lighter that she's left or that got left on the ground.
I
Because
like it.
nobody has said anything about picking it back up.
That
Yeah,
is
no, I
very
didn't pick it
fair.
up.
But also, I love in this entire time, the easy solution that you guys could have gone for was pouring the syrup on the French toast, lighting it on fire, and trying to feed it to Tappy. That could have been an easy out right from the start, but instead you're like, nah, just dump it on top of him.
Wait, no, get him drunk first.
Well, he was face down. We couldn't have fed him anything.
Yeah, exactly. See, we got him drunk first.
I mean,
Made him fall down, covered him in.
But also, what a lush. He got drunk with 2 fucking
That
moonshine
was-
soaked cherries.
okay, but see, that's not regular moonshine. That's like
That's
true
magic
old
moonshine.
school
That's
moonshine.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpappy's
Like-
Yeah,
moonshine.
That's some shit that'll burn your fucking eyelashes off if you sniff too hard.
It's been 35 years too ago from the other thing. You know, he's been a while. He's had a drink for.
Exactly. Tappy's been stagnant there for 35 years.
Very low tolerance level.
Hey,
You guys
cancellation.
not only- Yeah.
Maya rolled a nat 6 on remembering the lighter on the
Yes.
Keep in mind, has a sense for snacks and agile, so however
So-
that needs to happen.
So Maya remembers the lighter sitting over next to her, and she thinks in this moment back to a YouTube video she vaguely remembers watching that never actually existed, wasn't a thing. But she thinks that she at some point watched a YouTube video that said that if you ever get dirt on your food, to just take a lighter to it and it'll burn it off. So she takes the lighter to the French toast, and not only does, by some fucking miracle, it end up completely clean and sanitary, but it's also nicely caramelized now. Too. It's like now it really feels like it's fresh again. But you know, back to the whole Tappy situation. Not only did you guys murder someone, but you ruined their sobriety too. They were just about to get their 35-year coin.
Oh no.
All right, so you all are making your way towards the opening where the now deceased Tappy would have been. And you see exactly, and you see
I didn't know. I saw monster scary.
because this whole area.
Oh wait,
is
real quick. While we
essentially-
were on our way, I turned my hat off.
Okay.
I didn't want him to see us coming.
Okay, perfect. Good catch. So you make your way towards the clearing. Pour one out for Tappy.
Rip.
R.I.P. Tappy. Gone but not forgotten. My friend.
I love you so much.
So they are. As you start getting close to the clearing, you see Bart and Head Counselor Derp staring straight south. So you guys are just close enough. Are you all charging directly into the clearing, or are you going to stop first?
I feel like I'm gonna stop and see what happens.
Okay, everybody else doing the same?
I am not going to be
I'm gonna
paying
stop.
attention, and I'm going to run smack into Chris.
I figured that's what was gonna happen.
All right.
Wait, hang on. Todd was following behind the 2 of us.
Fair. So
Oh
Todd.
God, he's going to plow into step Todd, not again.
Todd, what are you doing?
Todd is actually a little more of aware, and he does see that the movement in front of him has stopped, so he's going to also stop.
Perfect. Maya, bringing up the last of the group. Are you at all paying attention to what they're doing?
Not at all. I am staring directly at French toast.
So I'm gonna need you to give me a D6.
I love that this has been the plot point for Maya this whole evening. Is just needs to find a way to eat French toast.
It's giving Iron Giant vibes a little bit. Let's see what that D6 is. For the sake
Well,
of your French
my
toast.
tower got my tower got in the way, so it stopped it at a 3. Do I need any of my modifiers here?
So, what are your modifiers again? We'll see if any
Let's
can actually
see.
work.
I've got water rescue, CPR, airhead, does not bruise easily, snack sense, sneaky quiet, agile, cult of the tappy, and high tolerance to alcohol.
Do we? Because like snack sense or agile might potentially work here. If they're going to work, I'm gonna need you to describe just what it is that keeps you from running directly into Todd from behind.
Do we have the moonshine still?
Yes, there are still cherries, and also, yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I think Cult of Tappy might now not be a tag anymore.
You did try to help me kill him.
And I mean, Tappy's also literally dead.
I still have his
Yeah,
cherry
you're gonna have
pit.
to rebrand.
I mean, it just lives there in the back of the closet in case it ever
Fair
is
enough.
necessary again.
Because to be fair, it does seem like there is a connection between Tappy and Derp, potentially.
I would say, if the moonshine is still in vicinity, it's like those cartoons where you sniff out the food and you just like float along the line. So she just magically follows her nose around the obstacle to try to find.
So you were
stand next to moonshine.
You were never walking the whole time. You were just floating along like an old school Hanna-Barbera
just
cartoon.
floating behind.
And it just takes this harsh left-hand turn and a right and a diagonal cut right around Todd, and then just sits right there next to the moonshine bottle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cult of the Lamb for following the group.
Honestly, y'all, side note, because Cult of the Lamb has an update coming out in like
the multiplayer update comes
a
out in like 8
week,
days.
and Sean and I were going to play it through together. And I was going to ask if he wanted to name our Cults of Tappy.
It might have to be now.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tappy. So you guys can decide which of you want to roll, but Rudy and Chris, I'm gonna need you guys to roll to see if whichever one of you decide should be the one, if you make enough noise that you're noticed by the two people in the clearing when you crash into each other.
I feel like that's a Rudy roll because I don't think that it would have happened if Rudy would have like stopped before hitting me.
Absolutely. All right, so give us a
Also,
D6.
I've got the moonshine, and then I've got a bullet ready in my slingshot. So
Fair.
we're gonna find out if I shoot somebody in the ass.
Oh no.
I got a 4.
Okay, good. Okay, so
My fucking guy,
you two
Rudy.
stumble into each other, but by some miracle, you're not sure how, but the noise that it makes you guys hitting the ground isn't noticed. And in this moment, you actually do see that, for whatever reason, there's only one spot now in this entire place. You've seen the entire thing. It wasn't this way when you came walking by, but this town center is illuminated by moonlight. And the light all but takes an immediate stop right at the path entrance to that, right before where you guys fall. And it is dead silent.
So we can't hear what they're doing?
As far as you can tell, you cannot hear anything.
Oh. Anybody got any action they want to take?
What do we see? What besides the light?
So you see there's the tree path, and then you have the giant open clearing that looks like the entire thing is illuminated with light. It doesn't look like there's any kind of like barrier or anything. Like if you were to reach through, you could see that you can go directly out into there. And you see the stand for the statue sitting completely empty, and sitting just about like 3 feet behind it, you see a taller silhouette wearing a bright yellow shirt, and you see a younger, slightly smaller looking silhouette who there is also a hand on the ground directly behind, standing right next to him.
He
Oh,
might just be like, "Oh, the camp counselor is gonna be mad we broke his amusement ride."
I'm gonna ignore Maya, and I'm gonna look at Rudy and be like, yo, I think that might be Bart's hand. Someone's gonna get murdered.
So
I
go ahead.
was gonna say, hey, Maya, you want to light this cherry for me? We'll see if I can get him from here.
Do I?
So I guess they both have to
My
roll.
dice.
Yep, I'll have you guys both roll. Todd, what were you gonna do?
Just gonna say, I heard you say there's. You think that's Bart's hand? I'm like, oh, does Bart need a hand? And I was gonna start walking forward.
Oh no!
Can I
so
roll?
here's-
I rolled a one.
Okay, wait.
No.
Real quick, before you
Oh,
go into
no.
everything you're gonna do, can I roll to stop him from walking forward? While you
I was about to say,
narrate
him-
everything
Todd
else.
walking forward could probably be happening at the same time whatever goes on with the reaction between.
I like this.
Okay.
So
Oh no!
the way the events are gonna
Yeah.
happen, which Todd, I will have we'll essentially have you doing a competition roll between you and Caitlin to see if she's going to stop you or if you're just gonna completely pass right by. Wibbles, I know that Venom unfortunately failed. So we are going to have to see if you lit the cherry pit or the cherry soaked in moonshine on fire before the failure happens, because this might end up being fantastic.
Can I
So actually,
use one of my modifiers, like my gear head or anything?
you won't be able to use your modifiers at all because you're essentially trying to physically stop him. But I think before we have you guys do that roll, let's see, Wibbles, if you manage to light this cherry on fire.
I rolled a 4. Which does count on the success side, but barely. And I have no modifier for fire, only for food sense.
So, here's what's going to happen. I don't think you guys are
This is
going to
how
have to
rude that-
roll.
Oh no.
So,
Whipples, why? You always get the rules we don't want you to.
so what happens? The chain of events are as this. So, standing right near the mouth of the path heading towards the center, you have Todd just like a step behind Chris. And then behind Todd, you have both Rudy and Maya standing side by side. Rudy is off to the left, Maya is to the right, Todd is to the right, Chris is to the left. So as the cherry pit is lit on fire, for whatever reason, Rudy's aim is very off, and it manages to thwack Chris directly in the shoulder, catching your hat on fire.
Oh no!
I lost my hat?
And while this happens,
I would like that the record to note, I did my job. I set shit on fire.
Oh shit! Sorry, Chris.
and Todd,
fucking
as this
hat.
all happens,
That was
goes just
sacrilege!
casually- I know, vengeance for Chappie.
No,
Todd
wait, no.
goes-
It's a Meepus hat. That's sacrilege.
That's fair. That is fair.
Is-
Uh,
Have we thrown this hat on the ground by this point?
Yes, I
we
ripped my
ripped-
hat off
yeah, no.
immediately.
As soon as it's on fire, you rip it off and throw it on the ground, so you don't end up hurt outside of getting thwacked upside the head with a flaming cherry pit. Todd, in this moment, you are walking through the barrier, and you step through that barrier where you can immediately start hearing sound again, but just the sound of those two speaking. As soon as you were about to say, "Do you need a hand, Bart?"
Do you need a hand, Bart?
And now I will let you guys decide what you would like to do from here.
Well, I am bent over this flaming hat, just staring at it. You can see the full reflection of the fire in Maya's eyes. She is no longer looking at her French
Thank
toast.
you,
She's
Ethan.
stuck to it tightly.
Rip.
But she is now
Rip
fully
Ethan.
locked on to this flaming mound on the ground.
So I think that my next course of action is using my sleight of hand to take the slingshot from Rudy and try to use it against Mr. Derp.
Okay, Rudy, what are you gonna be doing?
I'm gonna be taking another swig of moonshine because clearly I sobered up too much, and so I missed my shot.
Uh, can
All right.
you just, Rudy, while you're taking a sip, can you just hand me one of those cherries? Thanks, friend.
So we're gonna have these things kind of happen simultaneous. Todd, what are you doing? Are you just making a beeline for Bart?
Yeah. I'm not walking very fast. Remember, I'm pretty slow, so I'm just like, just taking my
Just
time. I don't run.
ambling.
So
Yes, I'm just ambling.
at this point, Counselor Derp is distracted because he has noticed all of you. He immediately heard Todd when he was offering for a hand. So Bart, you also have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do in this moment. And we'll just kind of, depending on what you guys do, we'll decide what order things happen.
How far away were we from Bart?
So it is probably about 40 feet to get over to where they were standing. It's not a super big clearing. It's just enough.
If you dash, you can get to me.
Exactly.
But here's the funniest
It's one
part.
round of movement.
Todd does not dash.
Here's the funniest part about all of this is that Maya has like first aid training and is so distracted by the fire she doesn't give a fuck about the fact that
She
Bart just lost
hasn't
his
noticed
hand.
that Bart literally is missing a hand.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Mouth to mouth resuscitate the hand?
Just like pucker the finger.
I'm like lifeguard certified. I'm not a surgeon.
I just meant that like with kind of general first aid you might be able to help stay the bleeding.
It was just CPR, if I remember
okay.
right.
Never mind then.
It's CPR and water rescue were the two certifications.
Maya
Alright.
calls first aid cauterizing a wound.
She could take her a little lighter.
All right,
Okay.
Bart. So you have the last opportunity to decide what you would like to do. In this moment, Counselor is distracted.
He's distracted from me.
Yep, he is now staring
He sees
directly
all
at
the
Todd.
fuck of us.
Oh, what can I do? Aren't I being held down
So-
with shit?
We'll say that as he hears Todd, you feel the essentially vine of stem that's wrapped around you. You feel that just loosen enough that you could actually move around. You could potentially get out and try to do something in that moment.
Okay. I don't know what the hell I would do. This is an awkward situation. I decide to try and roll away towards the team.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and we'll have everybody except for Maya who's staring at fire do.
I got
Oh.
a 3+1.
Okay, perfect. So you were successful. Let's see here. Todd, did we need you to roll for anything on that one? Or you were just
He's just
walking up to him?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no.
totally spaced.
You're good. You're all good. You were just simply walking towards him. Was there anything?
I was totally spacing. I was like, oh yeah, they're talking to Todd, not me.
Oh my god. Are you
Alright,
gonna tell them
I-
you're stumped on
I
what
need to reboot.
Was there anything you wanted to do along the way to him? Like, were you gonna try and
I-
use your vast knowledge of first aid to maybe start thinking of how to help his severed hand?
To be honest, I was thinking, I do have the string in my pocket. I might be able to somehow try to help stitch on his hand. I was going to see how close I was to his hand to pick it up, to offer his hand back,
You
as well as, you know what I mean? I don't know how close I am between them and, Derp. And
I was about to say, would he know that human hands aren't supposed to come off the arm?
I mean,
Is he just gonna think you could screw that back on or something?
personally, Resident Evil Village rules just staple it on there. Personally, I feel like the only people he's seen at this point all have hands attached to them. So I feel like even a robot's gonna realize that's a little bit weird.
And also his other hand is still attached.
And it's close enough that I will say, especially considering there is something that probably will happen that'll distract him enough, you could probably get around and help Bart's hand.
I say I probably can at least try to, figure that out. Maybe do another roll on that and see what I can do to try
Perfect.
to attach the hand.
Go
While
for
he's
it.
doing his roll, I have to pee like a
Okay.
motherfucker.
And Rudy, you were just drinking moonshine, right?
Yep, gotta get my buzz back.
Okay, perfect. So you're getting your buzz back. So we'll start with Bart.
Okay.
So Todd comes into the room. Bart, you are going to attempt to roll away. What is your roll?
I rolled a 4.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking as we were going to see just what comes up from a Google search on this one. So as you feel that little bit of slack happen, you throw your body to your left and you manage to roll out. Are you going to worry about your severed hand at all, or are you just simply trying to get out of it?
As I'm rolling out, I'm gonna scream out, I think Mr. Dirt might be my father.
Perfect. Okay, so as you roll out, Counselor Derp is smacked directly in the forehead with a cherry soaked in booze. And his eyes... Maya, if you were paying attention to anything other than the fire, in this moment, you would notice that his eyes go a crystal black, just like Lunch Lady Linda did right before she tried to attack you. And
Actually, on that note,
yes,
Maya looking at the fire has thought of a great thing that would go really well with her now perfectly clean and worm-smelling French toast.
Okay.
She wants some marshmallows. It's the only thing she could think about right after looking at this fire is, what would be really great right now? Some marshmallows.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Moore's French toast sounds so good right now.
Honestly.
It could be the weed smoking, but it sounds so...
That actually does sound fucking delicious. So the cherry hits him directly in the forehead. Oh my god, use a marshmallow to attach the hand. In this moment, he gets hit in the head with the cherry, and again, his eyes go completely black, and he stares daggers at the three of you standing in that, essentially, like, pathway clearing to where he is. And in that moment, Todd, you were able to very easily just simply walk around and walk towards Bart. What is your D6 to see...
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Is that without your knowledge modifier?
That was without. Yeah, that was just straight up. I didn't
So-
roll the knowledge modifier.
So that means
I didn't
since what you were trying to do was you were trying to essentially use your internet knowledge to help reattach his hand when you get to him, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna need you to do me a favor,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna need you to Google hand reattachment.
At-home hand reattachment.
Yep.
Oh, man.
You know what?
My
Actually, no.
history, here we
Considering
go.
that is a perfect 6, I will let
Okay.
it be that it doesn't have to be at home.
Just how to reattach a fucking human hand.
Is the first result anything helpful?
Let's see.
If it doesn't seem like it, or if it just seems like it's a bunch of, like, essentially information of, oh, yeah, no, here's what happens, here's how you should save the hand, we can retcon it and we can figure it out a different way.
Well, then I'm gonna. Well, here, actually, yeah. Let's do. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. So since I am I at Bart right now?
Yep, so at this point, you were at Bart, his hand is right next to him.
So clearly, I'm looking at it, and his hand is bleeding, or his stub is bleeding. His hand is lifeless, looking there, and I'm able to clean up the area and remove any dead tissue that may be in the area. And then, since it was very quick and how long ago has this been? It's been pretty.
This
recent.
would have been, like,
Less than 5 minutes.
maybe 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, so since we have a very high success rate of putting it back there, the only problem I face is I know how to put a hand back together, or on a body, but do I know which way it goes?
Roll for it.
I was gonna say,
Wait.
I think we should roll for
There's
this
two
one.
potential things. There's the potential that Todd will try to put it on wrong, and there's the potential that if he does, Bart will notice.
At this point, I feel like Bart isn't able to actually see his hand. Essentially, Bart, like, he rolled over, he fell face first on the ground, so his head is up and he can see towards you guys. But he
Okay.
can't see what's happening to his...
I missed what was going on.
Because it's all very bang bang.
I'm definitely able to put it back together. As far as it pretty much, is they clean the area. In this case, it's kind of like reattach it. Hope you can use it again. In this case.
Okay.
But,
So
I'm using my string as a stitching mechanism to somehow thread through his flesh and tie it back together.
So
And while I'm doing this, I am robotically gagging. While it is something I could do, doesn't mean it's something that I do as a part of my what was the part that was thing in the where'd that go? As part of our little brochure there, where it says extra things, I said my skills are I'm pretty much creating or I'm adapting to
go full big next time.
Developing feelings as human feelings.
Okay.
So that's a human feeling that I've developed.
So
Disgust.
you are,
Disgust. Exactly.
I like it. You are absolutely going to successfully attach his hand, but how we're going to handle if you do it correct or not.
Handle.
We're gonna do this the fun way. So I currently have a
Quarter.
let's see here. What year is this sucker from? We have a 2001 Kentucky quarter. We have good old George Washington on the front and a fucking horse on the back. Call it in the air.
Who's calling it? Who's calling it?
You're calling
You!
it. If you get,
Oh no!
if you call it right, essentially it's a toss up. Like you're going to grab his hand and just try to put it right on. So we're gonna see if you grab it correctly or if you grab it backwards.
Okay, here we go.
You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Call it.
Heads.
That landed.
Is it tails?
That landed heads.
Oh, head!
You grab his hand and perfectly suture it back on the correct direction.
How the
God
fuck?
knows how hands work on humans. I have two.
Todd really just looked at Bart's other hand and saw how it was adhered and was like, yes, this is what I do. Just mirror it.
Perfect.
I'm looking at my own hand, like, kind of as reference, but I know that's not exactly right. I'm like,
Just holding them up like you're trying to figure out which way's left, which way's right.
I'm doing that.
Framing it just right.
So Todd, you now have your hand back. You actually have fully
Bart.
functioning hand, or Bart. Excuse me. You have fully functioning hands
He
again.
actually has my hand now.
Pull
You
up the
offered
Google
it.
images to confirm what you see.
So I need to ask a question.
Yes.
When my hand was cut off, mainly because I've smoked a lot since this happened, did it damage my watch, or did my watch just come off clean with the hand?
I know in the moment I said that it cut the watch in half, I think that was the case because it immediately cut the music. So the watch is
Okay.
unfortunately destroyed.
Okay. Cool.
So he can't summon other Barts.
There will be no Bartleverse, unfortunately,
Tragedy.
unless there's some other way. So
Bart actually goes and gets his phone.
where we are at. So we have Maya staring at the Meepus hat on fire. We have both Chris standing over with the slingshot in hand, and Rudy standing right next with the moonshine bottle and the soaked cherries. We have Todd standing next to Bart, whom Todd had just helped reattach Bart's hand. And we have Head Counselor Derp, who is enraged and is starting to make a beeline towards the three of you.
Okay, so now that Rudy is a little more drunk again, I'm gonna be like, trade ya, and hand Rudy the slingshot and take the moonshine.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, and remind me, who has the lighter right now? Does Maya still have the lighter?
Correct.
Or-
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think we have time to ask Maya to light shit on fire right now.
I was about to say, I think the way that I pictured it is I now have the French toast in one hand, the lighter in the other. So
Okay.
it's French toast in left hand, lighter in the right.
I have an idea because my hat is still on fire on the ground, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking.
So Rudy, I handed you took the slingshot from me and handed me the moonshine, right?
Yep.
I picked those cherries with the stem still attached. I'm going to hold a cherry by the stem and I'm going to dip it into the fucking hat fire and hold it up for the slingshot if I can do this.
Okay. Give me a d6. Let's see if
All
you got
right.
this. Did you get a
Not 6, motherfucker!
I did too! My first 6!
cherry bomb. Okay, so how this is going to work is, go ahead and add the tag chef hands
For me?
for you. You dip it in the fire. You do not even notice it. You set it perfectly in the slingshot. And Rudy, feel free to add whatever, or you know what? Feel free to add like marksman to yours because I think it was Bart who had that before, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
Bart had like bullseye.
Bullseye.
So feel free to add something similar to yourself because you are going to take this cherry and you are going to sling it back and launch it directly at Counselor Derp, correct?
Yes.
And as he opens his mouth to begin to do something, you don't know what, that cherry goes directly into his mouth. And just like what happened with Tappy, when you shot the moonshine-soaked cherries inside of him, you see it go into his mouth. But this time, that miasma of darkness that is inside of his maw, unlike before where they were not lit on fire, this time you see this bright, almost sunrise appear in the background of his open mouth as the inside of him just begins to emit this bright yellow and white light, and he just explodes.
Oh,
Fuck
Nice
yeah,
shot.
Rudy.
And now,
Hell yeah.
Maya,
You
good
did it.
shooting, partner.
Maya, give me a d6.
I swear to God, if you get a
It's a-
goddamn 6.
No, it's a 3.
All right. So, some of the goop that explodes out of him does land on your French toast.
Oh no!
And I will let you take it from here and decide what you do.
Oh no!
I'm taking that bite.
Can she use her snack sense to detect if it's edible?
You know, that's a good point. I should
know what?
probably snack sense it
If you can
first.
snack sense it. Okay, yeah, all right. So
Plus 1 mod.
it lands on your plate, and for a second, you start thinking, ooh, you know I was thinking, like, some nice roasted marshmallows on top of this. But maybe this will be decent. Maybe, he's made of cherries like Tappy. And you start to cut a little bite, and you go putting it towards your mouth, and you smell the most viciously disgusting scent you have ever smelled in your life. And
Is my
immediately,
French toast ruined?
it's almost as if the French toast itself is screaming in pain from this ichor. And the plate
Oh.
just falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm mad now. Maya's angry.
And it is...
Because you made this French toast last for so long.
That French toast has been wandering around the outside world for like almost an hour at this point.
Oh my God, that
So-
poor French toast.
In what is a almost unbelievable sequence of events, as the body explodes into this just technicolored light, the world goes dark around you for a second. And that distant sound of rain that you have been hearing this whole time stops.
That's so weird.
That was creepy. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like
I got
it.
you on that one. I got you on that one.
This whole time. It was so relaxing.
I know. I was like, ooh,
I'll
this
put it
is
back on.
good.
I'm sorry. I had to do it for dramatic effect, you guys.
That was no, that was perfect.
It was. I watched him
Um,
do it too. I was like, wait, no, don't turn off. Don't turn off.
Oh.
And you see, did no one really had a watch on, right? Outside of Bart, who's got destroyed. So, Todd, in this moment, you feel the snap of your brain actually reconnecting to the internet. And you feel your internal clock rolling forward about 12 hours. Or about 10 hours. And you all witness as the sun starts to rise over the hilltop. and the morning starts to actually break in. The clouds start to dissipate, and things are actually calm.
Interesting.
Well, we just spent the whole night dealing with eldritch beasts. I'd like to do something before we go wait for the camper bus to come. Because we don't know for sure whether Tappy was good or evil, but I'd like Chris to have their, like, horror movie moment. And so Chris is going to take the cherry pit that they brought with them that still has the screwdriver sticking out of it and dig a shallow hole in the dirt, put the cherry pit in it with the screwdriver still kind of sticking out, and cover it back up.
Oh, sequel movie in the works.
Okay.
And then go back for our stuff. Oh, wait, no, we
Everyone
have to go
loves
to the
good
mess hall
horror sequel.
first and see if we can get Maya more French toast.
See, now I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to actually start thinking for next Tiny Apple Day.
You're welcome.
I was thinking it was gonna have to do something completely different. Fucking tiny apples in space.
You're welcome for that.
So
We can absolutely Jack and the Beanstalk that fucking screwdriver pit
Hey.
and go to space.
I mean, who knows?
Maya would
Tune in a
totally
year
make
from
this
today.
shit happen, though. But that means, guys, we have to
So-
hold on to our brochures.
So here's what happens. So you finish burying the apple, or the tiny apple pit, the cherry pit, in the ground, and from behind you, Johnny Appleseed. Here's Johnny. Beautiful. From the east, over towards where the food hall is, you can't help but notice a voice that only Bart really heard. But someone call out from the mess hall and go, "Who wants some French toast?"
I'm just
As
going to
you
look
see-
at Maya.
The crusty old man who, if you guys had ever paid attention to him, would have warned you that something bad was going to happen, but nobody really listened to the old man. He finished off making the French toast, and there's a giant plate set out. And as he sits you guys down to eat, he goes, "I'm going to go get the car, and I'll be back. We'll get you guys home safely."
And I'm just going to look at him and be like, wait, but what was all that?
And he just continues walking out the door.
Dun, dun, dun.
Done.
Cut to the
Eat the
cherry pit,
waffles.
and you
Or
see just a
French
little
toast.
bit of green starting to grow out of the ground.
if he's working on getting us home, who's keeping an eye out for the kids that were definitely supposed to be showing up that morning?
Were there going to
Or-
be kids, though?
Right.
Yeah, based off the dialogue that he had with missing hands over there, there were in fact supposed to be some children because they were gonna be the sacrifices, not us.
Fair.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
So
you'll
who's
just
getting the
have to
kids?
find out in the next episode. I'm sorry.
In 365 days, you guys will know what happened next.
Anticipation is killing me.
I'm going to totally forget all of this until next year, and then I'm going to have to, like, rack my brain for what
See,
we
that's
did.
saying I even remember any of this, and I'm not just like, yeah, we'll just do a different system next year.
I'm definitely gonna remember you guys killing Sloth.
I'm probably going to remember that I put a cherry pit in the ground.
That's fair.
Watch the mod. Act like I actually watch, videos of myself.
But that is where the Tiny Apple Camp adventure ends.
But also,
Huzzah.
happy Tiny Apple Day, everybody!
Thank you guys
No,
so fucking
Someone
much.
died.
I know. Surprisingly, no one died.
And also, a really quick happy birthday to Sean. Because yesterday
Happy
was his birthday.
Yes.
For those of you who have been joining us, we officially have merch, including if you want to get yourself a Tiny Apple Woods Camp 2024 shirt.
Limited
We have
edition.
mugs. We got some hats and sticker with Tappy the Tiny Apple on them.
I kind of regret not getting the Tappy sticker.
We can get it at some point. absolutely no pressure, but we actually have some shit now. So if you want, feel free to even just check it out and let me know what you think of the stuff. There was a lot of fun and a lot of work that went into it.
And please know, we already said it, but we do not expect anybody to buy anything. Any little contribution you guys make, we always really appreciate. Don't feel pressured. This is just an extra way to
actually have like something tangible to support the channel with. Too.
Exactly.
Like actually have something to hold. But thank you again so much, Venom, Ethan, Joshua, Wibbles. It is always such a fucking blast. I am so glad we got to get this group together. I'm glad it actually worked for everybody to be able to be here to do this.
Very tragically, our good friend Watson had some Wi-Fi trouble right before this happened. And then also his sister crashed her car. So he wouldn't have been able to make it.
Oh, no.
He just sent me another text a little while ago.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this won't be the last one of these. We'll see if it happens. I don't know who's going to join for it. I still have to, like, actually plan, but we might do the next one probably around Christmas. But honestly, doing some random tabletop RPG streams are so much fucking fun, and we have so many awesome and hilarious friends, like the lovely and amazing people we had joining us today.
Props
so we'll do
to
more of this.
Venom.
Yeah, no, Venom. I think we all need to take a second to
Full
appreciate
costumed?
how full out Venom went. Like,
She
straight
put
up,
facial hair on.
Look, I even
Like-
can't really see, but I have like
straight up fucking-
sunburn on, and then I tried to make it look like I was wearing sunglasses. Yeah,
it's just so fucking well done.
Really. Like, you could tell how hardcore you go into your cosplay.
This is honestly such a blast, but I think we'll end the stream here. Thank you guys so fucking much for coming and hanging out. We're not going to do the usual outro. Next stream is going to be on Thursday. I'm actually taking a couple of days off for once, rather than, forced because internet or some shit came up. I'm actually just going to take a couple of days.
He actually gets to spend a little time with his dad, which is kind of
Exactly.
nice.
I was going to stream on Wednesday, but my dad was like, hey, I want to take you to a movie for your birthday. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's go see Deadpool on Wednesday. We'll do that. But Thursday will be the next stream. Oh, sweet. I'm excited to hear that, man. It should be a fucking blast.
His dad was really excited to go see it, which was really sweet. And so, like, we don't know a lot about, like, current movies. So he was like, sure, we can go see that.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. We'll be back on Thursday, but until then,
I won't be.
That's fair. It'll be my face. I hope you're okay with that. But again, go check out Joshua Makes Music. Amazing stuff.
Do Wibbles shout out.
Wibbles,
Pro Wibbles propaganda.
Pro Wibbles propaganda. We must do it.
Wibbles.
Excuse me. Well, I have to actually type shout out. Excuse me. There we go. Go follow Weaving Liberty. Wibbles is genuinely one of the most amazing people on Twitch. You will not regret a second you give to her time.
I have weapons now.
Ma'am, you don't have my screwdriver, so bam. I'm gonna need to get a new Meepus hat for next year that has a flashlight.
Pro all the streamers taking part propaganda. Honestly, though. Honestly. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. We'll be back on Thursday. But until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful start to your week. You feel free.
I was going to do the next part because usually you let me.
You got this.
Have a wonderful start to your week and your Thursday.
And I can't wait to see you all Thursday afternoon. Love
Bye,
you
guys. Thank you so much.